All right, the internet. How y'all doing tonight? Probably you're not in the best mood. I get it. Kind of a weird game. Defense played really, really good in general. I said during the week that I felt that Auburn's defense needed to defend 70 plays at the absolute most, preferably somewhere 65 or less. They end up defending 88. And I realized that some of those at the end where they were just kind of messing around, but still, I'd say 82 or 83 of those are legit, and it's just too many snaps to defend. It's too many against LSU. Early in the game, I thought the offense was trying to hold the ball. I want to say their second possession of the game was one of those that went on like 10, 12, 13 plays and chewed up some clock. And I thought, okay, Gus is going to get it done, and they're going to actually fight. And they got into some 3-and-out action, and they started slowing way down. The third quarter was an absolute abject disaster. We'll go through that. I actually have a picture to illustrate just how bad that quarter was. First of all, word to all our friends on the chat. I see it's popping tonight. Joker's in the house. Good to have you here, my man. Actually, I had some questions I want to ask you, like off the show, maybe tomorrow. So I'll DM you and we'll talk about it. Let's see who else we got. Phil, man, appreciate you being here. You're always here for the show. One of our most diligent posters. Glad to have you guys. Dope Did That is here too. Hey, man. I hadn't seen you lately. Missed you the last couple shows, but I'm glad you're back. No doubt. Chad Smith got the Dark Side of the Moon logo going. I like it. Brain Damage. I love this album, dude. Rocks. Oh, my God. I totally forgot that I had Skype on. I can't take calls right now. I still got some stuff I got to do. I was actually testing that earlier. I had my wife call in to make sure we get the calls working right, and they are working right. So, yeah. All right. So tonight, I got to get the show started for our podcast friends. All right. I'll go ahead and fire that up. We got some folks that love listening to this on podcast version during the week or maybe on Sunday. A lot of folks just drive around for their job and like to listen to it on the show. Coppa, that has a cuss word in it, but I'm going to let it go because it's fine. Andy Avery. Hey, Avery, what's going on? I'm glad to see you over on this side. I was over there harassing Neil and Chance on Thursday, I think it was. So I'm glad to have you over here. Phil Petway says, I got held, JGT. A lot of holding in that game, particularly in the first and second quarter. My God. I posted a couple screenshots on Twitter of what was going on, and it was a mess. I don't understand how some of those don't get called. I do want you guys know that when we do Brain Drain, particularly after an Auburn loss, we do some drinking. Okay, we drink after everything, wins or losses. Tonight's featured beverage is going to be, this is a beverage that I had for the first time like maybe a month ago. They had a tasting at my local watering hole. We call it the Tipping Point over here in outside of Montgomery. And they had this Old Forester. They had an Old Forester rep. This is the Old Forester Prohibition style. It's got a higher proof content in this bad boy. It's 115 proof, which is pretty hot. But it's smooth, too. Old Forester, I went to school in Kentucky, and Old Forester, even back when I was in school, which is a long time ago, was just one of those brands you just kind of would drink, man. For me, it was Old Forester, Maker's Mark back in the day, and then Old Forester, to me, it has a more refined taste. I don't drink Maker's Mark anymore. But I do love this Old Forester. I actually have some of their Bottled and Bond downstairs as well, which has more of a, it has a little more flavor to it. This is a very smooth bourbon. My wife loves smooth bourbon, so this is one of her favorites. But you can't go wrong with it. I'm going to go ahead and pour myself a glass as we get this going. We got a long, long road ahead of us, y'all, because there sure is a lot to discuss after this one. Again, Prohibition style, Old Forester. Some people might call it the 1920, or this has like an aqua top to it. They have other ones. They have different colors. I think the other one I had was green, and they have a red one too. I don't like red. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Sterling's drinking Knob Creek. That is a fine bourbon too. But I hope you guys are drinking some Old Forester. If you haven't had this, you deserve it. I'm going to have the first slug right here to you guys. Mm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Love that. It's a Louisville brand. Make that in Kentucky. I was made in Kentucky. How about that? I'm not going to go too far down that road, though. No. We'll save that for another day. Burner account. Man, what a great name that is. You said you're too sick to drink after that game, huh? I feel like any disappointing performances that happen in my life, these days anyway, deserve a drink or two. Yeah. You know, when I was in my 30s, I didn't drink a lot, but I drink more now. I talk about that on my show that I do with Neil McCready. I'm not going to sit there and trip about it, though. All right, let's go through a few things here that I think are really important to talk about right off the top. We'll take some calls around 7:30 Central Time. I told the folks over there on the bunker that I would start taking calls around that time, so I intend to hold to that. I hope that Liger calls in, and I hope 49 Minutes to Midnight calls in. Some of our anti-Gus folks. See, Michael Henry says, Rebel Grover here. I thought Auburn played great and made it a hell of a game. How do you call in? We're just going to have bunker folks call in here in a little bit. And there's going to be a lot of people that say that you're full of shit on that, that Auburn stunk today. The defense was outstanding, I thought. I mean, considering the challenge being in Baton Rouge, the offense sucking, and Joe Burrow being who he is, and the wide receivers being who they are, I thought they did really well. To give up 23 points, I think that's a defensive victory. I would give Auburn an A for defense tonight. I know they gave up some points and they gave up some yards, and they had a couple drives that were real stinkers, particularly in the second half. But at some point, you've got to factor in the fact that the offensive line for Auburn was sucking, and the offense was sucking. I mean, Bo Nix is certainly not above reproach here. We're going to get into that. But I thought the defense was outstanding. Offense, my first inclination was to give them a D. You guys might think that's a little high. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that one. The things that I found interesting about this game, first of all, I mean, we're going to be talking about this for a while, but that 3-3 dime package or the 3-3 stack where they had the 3-down lineman plus a Mike and then like a nickel playing directly behind the Mike is a defense that Auburn doesn't run, and it's a defense that you just don't see very much in college. You do see it at the youth level. A really cool idea. And the reason being for that is it really provided a lot of support for the A and B gaps, which is where LSU did a lot of its running prior to this game. And LSU really wanted to run the ball there, and they couldn't very effectively, at least in the first half, until they made some adjustments. Stan was talking about it on the show or during the broadcast tonight about how they were going bunch trips and then bringing those guys inside to kind of push up against those ends so that Auburn couldn't get out. Basically, a 3-3 is going to be really strong against the A and B gaps, and it's going to be really good against slants because you're going to have a lot of population there. But it's bad out wide. It puts a lot of pressure on the tackles, the wide linemen, to always have outside leverage while at the same time monitoring that gap inside of them. It's a tough thing to ask, and I think that Maryland can handle it. I don't think Nick Coe handled it well at all, and I think Big Cat made a lot of mistakes doing it. And here's the thing that I don't want to give them too much hell about, though, on an individual basis. They're doing something that they don't do. Now, I know they repped it. They had to have been repping this a while because you can't just go out there and be like, fuck it, we're going to run a 3-3. You know, I mean, you got to work on it for like a month or longer. And once they made that adjustment and started working the C gap, you saw that the run defense was a little bit worse. But, you know, anyway, I thought it was really cool what they did. And it caused a lot of problems early. And it gave them the upper hand early. And if Auburn's offense had been able to kind of take advantage of that, it would have been a different game. DJ Williams was really good tonight. I've got his numbers down there on the crawl. I'll go ahead and pull up some stats just so we can kind of go through those together real quick. Let's see. Main LSU stats. That's what I need. Hello? Where are you at? I don't see him. I think I lost him. Kind of stinks. Oh, well. Probably closed the window accidentally. I tend to do that. The really important thing I wanted to show you, though, was this. Look at these third down numbers. Look at this. This is Auburn's third quarter performance rather on offense. So you look at that and you're like, that's not too bad, man. 75 total yards and 13 plays. I mean, what are you bitching about? Dude, 70 of that was on DJ's run, okay? Like, the other 12 plays, 5 total yards. Unbelievable, man. A 3-punt quarter for Aaron Sipos. Just can't do that. Absolutely horrendous. I want to say Auburn for the game was 5 of 18 on third down. Horrible. 15 penalties. Horrible. They usually get about 7 or 8 maybe. Just bad in the third quarter. Really, really bad. And the offense was better in the fourth, I guess, but I just don't think it was enough. But that third quarter right there, that reminds me of the one, was it the first half at Georgia, back when Shaun White was like playing with one arm? And it was like punt, 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 punt. That's what that looks like to me. Absolute disaster. Horrible. Bo Nix was not good. I think he finished something like 18 of 38. I've got it on the crawl down there. And he had the pick. He had a nice throw to Seth Williams late in the game. But he missed a whole lot of throws in the second and third quarter. And, you know, I don't want to put it on one guy, but he looked a lot like the dude at Florida, in my opinion, who got panicky, who was running away from pressure when he needed to hang in there for another second or two, and who was getting away from reads that were going to open up. I thought he looked panicky, and I openly clamored on Twitter for Joey Gatewood to have a shot. Not because Bo's been bad or he needs to get demoted. I just thought they needed something else just to see what was going to go on. Because Joey, come on, man, he reps every day. He's a competent player. Like, why doesn't he get a chance when Bo's he's in such a funk? Sit him down for a few series. Let him think about it. Let him calm down a little bit. Let Joey give it a shot and see what happens. Obviously, the things that happen in practice, Gus, is like, you know, Bo's our only choice. And I'm not in practice. I can't confirm or deny what's going on in there. I just don't know enough. But I don't understand why he sticks with Bo this much. I mean, when somebody's failing like that over and over and over again, you just got to change it up a little bit. And he didn't. Now, he's going to sit there and say that Bo drove, you know, got them down there, scored to get it to 20 points, showed a lot of guts to get things going again. And there is some merit to that. But to get to that point, you had to throw away like 6 drives where he was just panicked and throwing the ball all over God knows where. And on Twitter, obviously there's a lot of angst about this loss. And on Twitter, there's a lot of people shitting on Gus. And I get it because he's the head coach and they lost. But offensively, I don't think the game plan was shitty. I really don't. I just think Bo was pretty bad. He was pretty bad. And we can talk about fourth quarter and all that, and that's fine. I mean, it deserves to be credited, but there was a lot of bad football coming from Bo Nix tonight, and I know there's a lot of frustration about it, and there's people saying, well, if his name was Bo Smith or Bo Johnson, then they wouldn't, you know, would Gus stick with him this long? I don't have any reason to believe that he wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, he's done stuff like this before. I mean, he stuck with Jeremy Johnson like 5 games too long. Let's see what else I wrote down here. Plays defended got too high. I talked to you guys about that. I thought they needed to stay at 70 or under. Really 65 or under. They went up to 88. Dude, I mean, it's not Kevin's fault. It's just not. They were a little lax on third down defensively, I thought, but it wasn't a game breaker. Nick Brahms got in there late. I couldn't tell if that was because something happened to Caleb or not. But it was interesting to see Brahms in there. Unfortunately, from my perspective, I don't think that he was in there long enough to really grade him. I don't know. I don't know if we'll be able to draw any conclusions about that. The 15 penalties is just a disaster. Horrible. And I'm with you guys, at least the Auburn folks, in thinking that the holds were ridiculous. First half was unbelievable. I mean, I bet there were 5 plays where Big Cat was tackled. Straight up tackled. 2 of the times the dude landed on top of him. I mean, he just tackled him to the ground. And I posted on Twitter, I mean, he's got him in a bear hug. I mean, You do that to a guy's daughter in the wrong place, and you get shot for stuff like that. I mean, it's too much, man. It's too much, and they need to call some of that. I don't necessarily think it's like they're setting it up for the game of the century, because I don't necessarily think that LSU gets a lot of home cooking. I mean, not compared to Alabama does. I mean, come on. But Chad Smith says eye pokers. That was pretty bad. I didn't think much of that. Derek Brown getting poked in the eye. Little eye gouge. This is in the prison system. Come on, y'all. Anyway, LSU. At one point, it was 75 LSU plays to Auburn at 50. I mean, dude, you've got to hold the ball. You've got to hold the ball in this game, and he had to have known that, and they just didn't get it done. Sean says, but we're young. I know you're being sarcastic. Yeah, I know. We're going to hear about it. We're going to hear about how young they are. I'm sure, Gus, maybe some of y'all heard it on the post game. I was not able to hear that. But I'm sure he's talking about how they're young and inexperienced and they're going to get better. And it's true. I mean, that's not a lie. It's just, it's frustrating to hear that now, right? I mean, it's late October and Auburn's 6-2. And they're going to beat Ole Miss, right? And they're going to be 7-2. And you got Georgia and Alabama ahead. I saw where Jack Driscoll, Nate King tweeted about it. Jack Driscoll said, hey, if we end up, with a 2-loss season, that's a great year. Yeah, it's true. I mean, 10-2 is not nothing to cry about, but it's still a lot of work to do to get there now. Cody says, Gus is the worst game planner in history for big road games. Blows my mind. Yeah, he's had some stinkers. I don't know as though today was – I mean, like the game 2 years ago in Baton Rouge is like all-timer. That's like a Hall of Famer, right? I mean, that's where the origin of Gussing came from, but I don't think it was that bad today. I thought the problem today was Bo Nix was just bad, and they didn't possess the ball enough, and they left the defense out to dry, and that's pretty much what happened. Dope did that, says he don't want to hear about youth. I hear you, man. Either you throw or you can't. I also hear you there. I mean, anecdotal evidence suggests that he's good in practice. I mean, that's what Gus keeps saying. I'm not there to see it, but he does it in practice, I think. And then we get out here and he starts getting rattled, and I think Gus is like, we're investing these experiences into him now so that next year or the next year or the next year he's a badass like Joe Burrow. There is some merit to that. That's how guys get better. But it is painful at this stage to be in this situation. I'm going to drink a little bit more Old Forester, and then we're going to get on the phones. Yeah. I like to switch between the Old Forester and the water just to kind of means every time that it hits my mouth, it's like a new pull, you know what I mean? And also, I really think this stuff needs to be consumed neat. I don't feel like a splash of water or ice cubes. I think it makes it worse. I don't want to hate too much on the people who put a splash of water in there. I went to college with a guy who was an heir to the Maker's Mark people and who works for Maker's Mark now. And he obviously grew up with Maker's Mark. It's his life. And every morning he would wake up and he would put a little Maker's Mark in the cup and he would put some water in it. And he thought that it would kind of pull out the flavors a little bit better. Who am I to hate on somebody who is an actual Maker's Mark people? I wouldn't do that myself. I consider him a credible witness on these things. Oh, boy. Let's see if we got anything else going on here in the chat, because sometimes when I get on the phone, I neglect you chat folks, and I hate doing it. Ray says he might boof one. What is beer? How many beers did you have, sir? None. And I was drinking Old Forester. All right. We're going to go ahead. Hey, before we get going, Tennessee was beating the snot out of USC. Did that finish? Did the Orange guys win? I'd be like so bothered by that. I always cheer against Tennessee. I don't care what it is. Anyway. Dan, we're not going to do that, bro. Even if you're joking. All right. Let's go ahead and take some calls. I'm going to turn on the phone lines here. If you guys You guys know the number. We're going to leave it open to just the subscribers right now, just because I like it better that way. I like having the same folks on, and you can kind of see how they change. Like the people that called in, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they were like, "Yeah, I feel pretty good about it." And then now they're like, "Man, fire Gus's ass. I hate him." You can watch them kind of morph. You know what I mean? Let's take this call from the 256. Hey, caller, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How you doing, Doug?
I'm great. I'm glad to have you on the show. Who am I speaking with?
NAAU fan.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not a lot. I got a question for you, JG.
Yeah.
If Gus Malzahn is our head coach, and he's an offensive guy, and his side of the ball consistently underperforms, what value does he bring?
Well, he's got a lot of good coaches in place, and he's a nice guy, right? Isn't that true?
He's a nice guy. He is a nice guy, great guy. Good dad. But guess what? I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy too.
Well, I think you should make more money than you do. How much do you think you deserve? I'm just
millions.
I'm behind that completely.
Well, all right, we're good then.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, DJ Williams looked pretty good when he got a chance. Did you not think so?
Oh, absolutely. I thought he was outstanding. Really, really good.
But I thought that they didn't get him the ball enough.
I just don't think they had enough plays, man. Honestly. I mean, he was far and away their lead carrier tonight. I mean, and he was in the last game. I can't really hate on that too much.
What do you think about Bo Nix? I don't think Gatewood's the answer.
Well, I would like to know if Gatewood is the answer or not, because I don't think Bo is the answer right now. I'm not saying he sucks or anything. I'm not going that far, but I'm just saying that.
Do you think it's odd that we have 5-star quarterback after 5-star quarterback after 4-star quarterback after Under Armour All-American, and they all underperform?
It happens a lot, doesn't it?
I feel like there's one constant in this situation.
And it's not Rhett Lashley, right?
Right, and I've been telling everybody, all these guys don't just show up and all of a sudden start sucking. That's not how it works.
What was the most disappointing part of that game for you tonight, bud?
I mean, honestly, in the first half, I thought we played great. I love a lot of people were crapping on the shot to Seth Williams down the sideline of half. I thought that was awesome. I mean, you can't go in scared and win that game. I mean, it's Bo Nix. He was terrible, but like I said, I have a hard time blaming on these guys that are so talented year after year, recruiting class after recruiting class, and they just keep underperforming. And there's one constant. And
it's Gustav, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Like I said, year after year, class after class, high recruited guy, Under Armour American game after Under Armour American game. They're all the answer. But there's one constant, and they all underperform. And I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together and figure out as to why.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling in. You're the first caller tonight, and that means you're the best. So appreciate you, bro.
I think you have a hotline tonight, JG.
Hell yeah, I do.
Good luck.
See you, buddy. Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, that's good stuff. A little frustrated with the quarterbacking. We got a lot of calls coming in right now. Let's see. Take this one from the. Oh, I missed that one. Here's one from the 404. Hey, man. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
What's up, Tater? How you doing?
Who I got on the horn here?
It's Alpha Tiger.
Hey, what up, man?
So, what did you think about this game tonight?
I think they lost, and I think Bo Nix was terrible, and I think he should have been taken out before. Well, he was never taken out, and I think Kevin Steele kicked ass. That's pretty much how I summarize it.
Oh, I agree. I think the defense deserves every accolade on the planet, but the offense is an absolute disaster. I don't necessarily put all of that on Nix, but I think Gus puts him in shitty situations. I think the running game wasn't as bad as I guess it probably looked on paper. I mean, obviously DJ Williams had a good game, but I don't know. Like the play calling just seemed abysmal from the start, and obviously, like he had that run open the second half. Obviously, if you put that ball in the end zone on that drive, then it's a completely different ball game. But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, what? It just seems like the same thing over and over with Gus. I mean, the offensive line looked like shit. I mean, Caleb Kim, do you think he's going to finish out the year as our starting center?
No,
because that would be very sad.
I don't think he'll be the center all the way through. No, he was out of the game in the fourth quarter. I just don't know if that was due to injury or what was going on with that. I'll have to ask Brian when I get him on the horn later.
Well, I mean, I think in Nate's quotes from Gus's interview, he took him out because of that awful snap.
Okay, yeah, that's bad. That was bad.
It seems like Caleb Kim's trying to prove to us that he's a shitty center, but we've already gotten the message for the last 2 years. So
just refuse that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The offensive line as a whole, I thought looked like absolute garbage. But I mean, we talked about this last time I called in about Grimes. I mean, something's got to be done with this offensive line. I mean, it sounds like nothing's going to happen with Grimes, but at the same time, do you think something needs to be done in that scenario?
Yeah,
our line coach.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't think he's a major recruiter, and I don't think the offensive line. I think they're one of the weaker parts of the team. And if you look at it from that perspective, yeah, you might want to consider making a change there. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I'm on board with all this stuff. Really, I am. I've never really been I like JB.
Do you think Gus actually has the balls to do it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, if he feels like there's pressure on his job, hell yeah, I think he'll make tough decisions if there's pressure on him, and I think there will be. All right, Alpha Tiger, I appreciate you being on the show and being part of the site, bro.
I appreciate it. Have a good one.
See you, man.
All right, bye.
MDH, thank you for helping me on that. I couldn't tell what he said. Sometimes it's harder for me to hear over here, so to speak. We got a lot of calls coming in. Let's see. We'll take this one from the 205. Hey, caller, how you doing? No, I missed it. Sorry, I'll take this one. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, JG, I'm doing well. How you doing?
What up? Who I got on the horn?
You got Tiger Stutzman on the horn.
Okay. Let me ask you this. How's your night going?
I mean, done all right. I've been drinking a little bit, but that's the only reason.
Well, I understand. I've been doing it myself.
If you're talking about the game, looking back, losing by 3 to start the season to LSU and Baton Rouge, that's what I expected. What did you think? What did you think about the performance today, JG?
Defense good, offense fairly shitty. Bo Nix needed to come out. DJ Williams was pretty good. Offensive line bad. Seth needed to be better. I'd like to see more touches to Anthony Schwartz. How's that?
I agree with Schwartz. I agree with DJ. Agree with Seth, but I don't see Bo leaving. I don't see that making us any better. Honestly, I think we're grooming Bo for his sophomore and junior seasons, and then we're gonna hold the SEC on lock after that.
Well, are you being sarcastic or are you being serious?
I'm being a little sarcastic.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I never know, man. Sometimes it's hard on the air, man.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I mean, at the same time, I didn't see Joey coming in, and I mean, I love Joey and I love Bo. I love them both, but I don't see Joey coming in at that point and saving us or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, how do we know he can? That's all I'm saying, because Bo was not going to do it. I mean, I just don't think Bo was the guy. I think whatever happened, that Gus is going to say, Bo was really good in the fourth quarter. I think Joey could have done that stuff too. I mean, he was just doing the most basic stuff. It was just hit this open dude is all I need you to do, and he was still throwing it over their heads. And
yeah, I agree. So now that you're saying that makes sense. But at the same time, is Bo afraid of throwing over the middle of the field, or is Gus allergic to that, or what's going on? In the beginning of games, we can't throw the ball over the middle. Canelo was wide open in the Arkansas game, and we just didn't even read him.
I think that Bo doesn't feel particularly comfortable throwing that throw, and so Gus, I think wisely, doesn't make him do it. I mean, If he doesn't like throwing that pass and he doesn't feel comfortable with it, then why would you ask him to do it a lot? Now, they still do throw a fair amount of slants, I think. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
They have stuff. I feel like Anthony Schwartz is at his best running drag routes, and that's going to require somebody to throw over the middle. Now, if it's not going to be Bo, it's going to have to be Gatewood, I reckon. But that's a huge benefit. Yeah, I think they could be using.
I honestly see us beating Georgia right now at this point, just because they've looked terrible. Now, that's saying if we met tomorrow. But I don't see us beating Alabama. But I see us going, I guess, 10-3.
Wow. I think that would be a fine season. I mean, there's going to be
or
folks.
9-3.
Yeah, I mean,
guess.
and then you get into the
Before the
bowl
bowl.
game. Yeah, with the bowl. But there's not going to be any pressure to fire Gus at that point. And I'm with you.
Not.
I think they're going to split one of these two big games that are left, whether it's Georgia or Alabama. I think they're going to get one of them. And, we're just going to have
I think we beat Georgia. And, I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm not the biggest Gus fan, but I wouldn't want to fire him with all the money left on the table and shit after this season.
No.
What's the point,
It's too much
Why
money.
bring somebody else in for failure?
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to be better on offense next year probably, but they're going to losing Derek and losing Marlin, probably losing Nick Coe, that's going to be a setback. So, hey man, I appreciate you.
And I don't know if they're going to be that great on offense just because the line might struggle.
Yeah, it's going to be new dudes, but I don't know. We'll just have to see, I guess. Hey man, I appreciate you being on the show, and I hope your night gets really, really awesome. All right.
Yeah, man. You too. Have a good one, JG.
Peace.
Love you.
See you, man. All right. I was not sure who that was, and I'm sorry. You're going to get mad in the morning, get on the bunker, and go, man, you didn't say my name right. I couldn't tell what you said. And I need MD Harold to translate for me. Ooh, I snorted there. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm going to got a lot of calls coming in. Hey, caller, how you doing? Thanks for calling in, bro.
JT Tate, what's up?
What is going on? Who I got on the horn?
AU Sam 6'7".
All right, man. Welcome.
I've been I've tried you about 30 times.
Damn. You mean like tonight or like forever?
Tonight.
Shoot, man. I'm sorry about that. Well, I'm glad I got you now.
You're good.
Tell me something
right.
novel and interesting here. Offer me something new.
So here's the thing. DJ Williams stepping out of bounds. I haven't been able to watch the live stream, so I don't know if this has been brought up or not. I'm sure it has. But DJ Williams stepping out of bounds is ridiculous. What is he doing?
He felt the pressure from behind, I guess.
You really think he felt the pressure behind?
I think so, yeah. Look, man, I'm not going to sit here and shit on DJ. I've been praising him for giving him a chance to run, and I thought he was good tonight, so I'm not going to poop on him.
Oh, I was very happy to see him in way more than 9, and I love 9, don't get me wrong. But to see 3 in was I was very happy to see Gus putting that 3 in.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised that he did it as much as he did.
What's up, Jay? What do you think about
I had to hang up on that call because I had messed that up. What I was doing was I was typing something. I was trying to catch up with the folks on the chat about the caller levels, and then I accidentally merged calls or something. That's totally my fault. I want to make sure that the levels are okay for folks who are listening. Folks who are listening to the show, you guys can hear the callers and everything's good there, right? I want to make sure. Because I'm sitting here like having these conversations. Last week we had problems where folks couldn't hear. All right, Nick says, yeah. Dope did that. Said, yeah, okay, so we're good. Let me take this call right here. I'm sorry for hanging up on you, Sam. My bad. Let me take this call right here. Hey, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, JG, what's going on?
What up? Who I got on the horn?
You got Scootin_Newton.
Hey, what up, man?
What's going on?
Glad to have you on the show.
I'm glad to be a part of it. First time caller.
Yeah.
What you think about this game?
Well, I thought the defense was awesome, and I thought the offense kind of sucked, and I thought Bo should have come out of the game. That's pretty much distilling it down right there.
And I like Bo. I love Bo. I think he's going to be a hell of a quarterback for us in the foreseeable future. And I don't pin this game on him. I mean, obviously he's 15 or 35, about 150 yards, but you got to look at it this way, man, is that we're paying Gus $49 million, okay, and our offense is abysmal. It's horrible. It's horrible. Our offensive line's terrible. And Gus, I swear, I think it gets to a point where I think Gus is excited about kicking a field goal. When DJ Williams drives down there, he's got to know that we're not going to win this game kicking field goal. You know, TJ gets down there to the 9-yard line, and, you know, we run just plays don't look good, and we kick the field goal, and they go up 13-10.
Yeah.
And I swear, I think Gus is excited about it, about kicking that field goal. And you can look at it, and we're not going to win the game with that field goal. We got to score. Well, I mean, we got to score a touchdown, and it looks bad. I mean, if I'm Kevin Steele, you know, I mean, I don't know how he looks at Gus, and you know, tomorrow morning, and has any respect for him, because this is terrible.
Well, I think Gus, it's not like Gus is saying, Kevin, stay away from me. I mean, he's praising Kevin all the time. And, yeah, I mean, Kevin knows he's valued. He would really wanted to win that football game. And I'm sure he feels let down by the offense. But it's not like they were just, I don't know. The kids were trying. I mean, I really do think they were. And, you know, it's not like, I don't think Kevin gets mad unless people are quitting. And that wasn't happening.
Well, and I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's got anything to do with the play. I mean, this is one of the most talented teams Auburn's fielded. I mean, besides the offensive line, the offensive line obviously needs a lot of work and a lot of help, and there's just not. I just don't think there's anything we can do about our offensive line to make it, you know, to where we're going to be able to compete, you know, for a championship with this offensive line. It's just not a good enough. I mean, Caleb Kent's horrible. I mean, he's just, and I hate to say that about, you know, a 22-year-old kid, but I mean, he's just not good. He's just not good at football. He's, you know, definitely, you know, he can't anchor that offensive line like we need. Like he's not a Reese Disney. And to sit and to watch all this, I mean, it's bad. And I'm a student. I'm a student at Auburn University, and it's just hard to sit there and watch this. I've been here for 5 years, you know, and to be mediocre for 5 years, it's wearing on me. And Auburn don't have many options. We can't fire Gus. He's going to win 8 games. He's got a chance to win 9. We're not going to be able to fire him. And I've been a huge supporter of Gus, but we don't. I mean, we can't fire him. And even if we did, there's nobody out there to go get. The only guy we could go get is Bill Clark, and that's not going to please nobody.
No, I mean, he's good, but I don't know if he's going to be worth the $30 million it's going to take to get rid of everybody, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to. I mean, the fire Gus is, what's that buyout now? $26 million after this year. 27?
Yeah, and then you got to pay like Rodney and Kevin and all those guys because you owe some money to them
and
too.
You don't want to lose them.
Well, I mean, they're going to be going regardless, unless you promote Kevin to head coach. That's pretty much the only way.
And that's not a terrible idea. I mean, if the defense is the only thing that's keeping us afloat, anyways. I mean, the two when we're playing like the Gus Bowl. When we play the Gus Bowl, you know, we're going to score 50 points against Arkansas. We're going to score 50 points against a terrible Mississippi State team. And I think when we won that game, we all got our hopes up, you know, thinking that our offense looks good, but we didn't realize how bad Mississippi State really is. I mean, they lost to Tennessee, and then they lost today too. I can't remember who they played, but I mean, it's just bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not good enough. I think that's where it is.
It is. It's not, and it's hard for me to sit here and blame a freshman quarterback. I mean, he don't make a whole lot of mistakes. I know he threw that one interception today, but he don't make a lot of mistakes. I mean, you can't ask. I mean, when Georgia was good with Jake Fromm his freshman year, he was good because he didn't make a lot of mistakes, and they had a lot of talent around him, and they had some good play calling. I know that we beat the hell out of them in 2017, but for the most part, he was good, and that's the reason why they made the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence had a lot of players around him. We have the players around Bo to be a really good football team, and Gus is just not making the smart plays. He's just not making the play calls, and it's just like I said, just the red zone, us kicking that field goal after we got down to the 9-yard line is just I think it's the kicker for me, and it's horrible.
Yeah, it's not good. He's
got to know that away we cannot kick field goals to win games.
No, it's not going to work, particularly down there when you're facing an offense that averages what 45 points a game. Hey man,
Yeah.
thank you for calling in though, bro. It's awesome to have you on. You got to call in next week too. Will you do that?
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully I'll call in next week and we'll beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, well, that's like a Gus Bowl part 2, really.
That's it.
All right, Scoot Newton.
All right, Jay, you have a good one now.
See you, bro. I like him. He's fun. He's cheery. I like that. I'm going to pour a little bit more. Do we have 3 calls coming in? I just need a minute here to get myself some Old Forester. Prohibition style. A lot of good points being made. I know you guys have been listening since the beginning. You're like, yeah, we've already heard how Jay feels about the game. I pretty much agree with what y'all are saying. I mean, being real about it. I don't want to sit here and poop on Bo. I don't feel like I am. I mean, I'm not saying he sucks. He doesn't suck. He's just too young to be. I mean, he's going to go, going down there to Baton Rouge, he was going to have to be the guy to win that game because LSU's run defense is so good and they're going to gear up on it. And he's going to have to make whatever, 10 to 15 somewhat challenging plays. And I just didn't think he would be able to do that. Although I did pick Auburn, but I want you guys to know who are looking to pick him. I'm not picking against Auburn because I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. If Auburn were to pull it off, I don't want people saying, the publisher of the site didn't even pick Auburn. I'd be like, shit, man. So at this point, if Auburn's playing the Patriots, I'm taking Auburn. Whew. Just want to take a break for a second here. We still got 3 calls coming in. Hey, if you guys are calling, I'm sorry. I'm not blowing you off on purpose because I don't even know who it is. All right, we'll take one of these from the 334. That's my area code. It's my home area. Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
How you doing?
Word. Who I got on the horn?
Spencer.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. How about you?
Well, fighting the power one more day, I reckon. What'd you think about that game, man?
Overall, kind of disappointed. My biggest thing was 7 minutes left in the game. We wasn't running tempo. Down by 2 possessions. What was Gus doing?
Well, I think he was surprised to even be in the game still. I don't know. He was probably shell-shocked that Bo had not just completely quit. I don't know.
In that situation, I just feel like we should be running tempo down by 2 possessions. We conserve the clock. We had 20 times left in the game to win the game.
Didn't it feel like Auburn was down 3 scores at that point, even though they were only down 10? It felt like it was insurmountable.
Because we couldn't move the ball the whole second half.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And the third quarter was an absolute just abject disaster. Awful. And they were better in the fourth, but, whatever.
I don't think we converted 1 third down the whole third quarter, if I remember correctly.
Would you have been in favor of Joey Gatewood getting a series, at least 1 or maybe 2?
Exactly. At least 1 series, just to get both time to rest his nerve, just to get his win back upon something. But, I don't know what Gus has going on, man.
I wonder if he got a little rattled, too. A little frustrated.
I've been an Auburn fan since 2001. It's just getting rough, man. I was actually hoping for a good year this year, but Gus is he's killing me, man.
Well, if he's going to beat Ole Miss and he's going to beat Samford, if he splits with Georgia and Alabama, are you all right with him at that point? They're going to finish 9-3 at that point. Is that all right?
Honestly, I don't think we're going to split with Georgia and Alabama the way we play today.
Well, that's fair. I just wonder if they're going to play differently at Jordan-Hare.
More than likely, yes. But when you talking about 15 for 38, that's not going to beat anybody. No offense.
No, he missed way too many throws today, and he's got to hit some of these. He's just got to hit some of them.
Yeah.
I was thinking early on the show. I don't know if you heard it, but I think he does hit these in practice. I think that when there's no pressure on him, I think he's okay. That's why Gus keeps running him out there, thinking I've seen him complete this pass 45 times, and then he just doesn't do it in the games because he gets freaked out. I don't know. That's just kind of what I think.
Practice is different from the game, though. It's different. Especially in Death Valley.
Spencer, I appreciate you calling in. Call in next week, too, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, see you, man. Bye. Some good points there. I like that. I like smart, rational callers. It's good. Nobody's trying to fire Gus. He just says he's disappointed. That's fair. Completely fair. I understand. Makes perfect sense. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's up, Jay?
You got to hit mute, I think.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, who I got on the horn?
Power Man.
Hey, I thought that was you. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, about 8 callers in and about, 8 ounces into this old Forester Prohibition style. Are you drinking?
Good. I watched the game with the kids and Fig Jam and Fig Jam's kids.
Oh God. I'm sorry.
It was yeah.
Just the Fig Jam. Just the Fig Jam.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it, I guess. Right. Hey, we are wasting a national championship defense. That's the problem.
No, that's true.
You just said that Bo. You don't think Bo sucks. Like, Bo sucks.
Well, like, I just mean, like, I don't think he's a shitty player. I just think he's not playing well right now. I don't think he's always going to be shitty. I don't think he's going to be like Jeremy Johnson.
Jeremy Johnson would have us undefeated. And I was in a thread about that. If we were completing 50 to 55% of our passes, we're undefeated. Like, that was we're playing without a quarterback, and you know, people are talking about the the red zone plays, and after DJ's run, what are you going to call? What can you call that's going to work to get you 9 yards into the end zone?
Yeah,
we don't have a play that'll do it.
No, LSU had their own problems doing that too, but that's not your concern. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Bang on Gus all day long, and because it's his team. He created this thing.
Sure.
But DJ makes that run, and if there wasn't a play, there wasn't a set of plays to get us 7 points at that point from the 9-yard line.
I know. I mean, and there was some frustration earlier from a couple callers saying, "Why did he go out?" I mean, he could have stayed in bounds. I don't know. I mean, yeah. The frustration is that it's a national championship defense that is really, really good and has NFL players all over it, and we are a marginal quarterback away from competing for really big things. That's
we
absolutely
lost by
true.
3 points in Death Valley with a quarterback that threw for, I don't know, what was this, 35% completion rate?
Yeah, I think it was 18 for 38, something like that. So it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was not good enough.
Yeah. And look, great kid and all those things, but he is not playing SEC caliber football.
But would you have given Joey Gatewood maybe 1 or 2 drives? Did you think that would have been a fair concession at some point?
I mean, would it have been worse? Look, I've been kind of on a Gatewood fanboy on the bunker, but I do not believe that Gatewood is some kind of savior at all. But I also, short of just turning it over every play, I don't know how it's worse. Maybe he gives you a chance to suck some safeties up and give you a shot at Swartz over the top. Like, I don't know if they think you're running constantly. Like, if they load the box, maybe it changes the defense. I don't know. I don't know if he can complete it.
Dadgummit. I did it again, Power Man. I did it again. Here's the thing, man. When I try to do the chat, when I try to type in the chat, it like makes me think it tries to merge the calls or something. That is totally my fault, Power Man, and I'm sorry to have cut you off. You were doing good. You're a great caller. You're a great poster. I'm sorry. That's my fault 100%. I'm trying to chat with my folks. Some of the people were asking some questions or making me laugh. Alchemist says Power Man was speaking the truth. Absolutely. Sorry I cut him off. That was awful. I owe you something. Power Man, if you're coming to the Bammerham lunch this coming week, I owe you one. We can go over there to the bar and I'll buy you one. That was terrible. Bo Adkins says Pat Nix will be coordinator next year. I wonder if that would fix it. It might. Dope did that says Bo was not Cam Newton. Hell no, he's not. Cam Newton was another worldly player, though. Cam Newton was also 21 when he got here. He played 2 years or practiced, I should say, 2 years at Florida, and then he was at Blinn, had another year of competition. So, I mean, he was a pretty seasoned player, but I'm not trying to say Bo is Cam. He's not. Let's take this call right here from the 205. Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for calling the show.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Word. Who I got?
This is Auburn alumni.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, bud. How are you doing?
I'm glad to meet all these folks that post on the bunker all the time. It's great.
Yeah. A long time. I've been a member since, I think, 06 now. So
oh, yeah.
I'm an old, I guess. Yeah.
Old. Yeah. Thoughts about this game, man? Are you super frustrated, or what are your feelings right now?
So a few things. I mean, obviously, I'll agree with every other caller. I mean, we're completely wasting a defense should be hoisting trophies at the end of the year. I mean, you're talking about two perennial All-American level talents on the line right now.
Yeah.
With another guy who we would have expected to be playing that way, but at the very least, I mean, you got two that are as good as we've had in a long time. And again, like other people said, when you hold LSU to 23 points in Baton Rouge when they're literally blowing up everybody for 50, when you basically do the same thing to Florida in the swamp, I mean, that last touchdown, I'm not going to put that on Britt. They were out there for forever. But again, like everybody else said, mediocre offense gets us 2 wins. We're undefeated. But beyond that, here's the thing that frustrated me, Jay. So all we hear is we got to get Anthony Schwartz the ball, got to get him the ball. And I don't care if it's on a 5-yard pass, on a flare, on a drag, on an end around. Get him a touch. Let him try to make something happen. Because when he did touch the ball, he took a 1-yard route and went and got a first down.
Yeah.
So he had – if I watched this was the thing I was watching the whole game. He had one touch until I think there was like 6 minutes to go or something like that. He had one touch. You cannot – and it could be Bo, it could be Joey. It's not going to matter when our personnel out there isn't going to force the defense to respect any kind of downfield threat. I mean, as great as Seth is, you know, they can double Seth. If you got Schwartz and South out there, you can't double both. You're also going to get guys out of the box. It's going to help out everything. But I remember specifically, I think our first trip into the red zone, if I'm not mistaken, we were inside the 10, and the receivers we had out there were Sal, Shanker, Seth, and I think that was it. We didn't have Joey in the game. We didn't have Schwartz in the game. If you're inside the 10-yard line, how in the world do you not have Joey at quarterback with Schwartz coming on end around, and you force all kind of threats on the defense? Instead, you have Bo with Shanker and Sal, and you really think anyone's going to respect anything other than it's going to be a read option or, you know, some sort of, you know, corner route or something like that. It blows my mind how we hear the same stuff after every game. And when we play the Arkansas of the world or the Ole Misses of the world, yeah, we'll see, you know, they'll stack Seth and Schwartz on the same field. But it feels like in the big games, Gus, I don't know if he panics or if he just like goes back to his safety valves that he always goes to, which is his older guys or his guys he feels like are you know, safer. But to me, Schwartz should be on the field every freaking snap, either as a decoy or at the very least on the opposite side of Seth to open things up. And, you know, Bo may still go, you know, 10 for 50, but at least you're giving us a chance. And I'll ask you this, Jay. Do you remember one time that we even threw a deep pass to Schwartz in this game?
No,
one time.
I think it was Seth. It was always Seth. It was always Seth, and it seemed like it was always Stingley, too, who was their best deep ball defender. So it was kind of weird. I don't know.
It's just, you know, and we hear, you know, we know Will's a good receiver, but it feels like every pass play, it's going to the same two guys. And I never feel like I see Hastings on any kind of deep. I mean, I remember a couple of years back, regularly Hastings would torch safeties. You know, there were multiple times that Stidham highlights of him hitting Hastings deep. And we haven't seen any of that this year. I mean, Hastings, I can barely remember him playing anymore. Instead, again, we go to these big packages, which I don't understand what the concept is. And, okay, we're going to spread people out, but the guys we have spread out are glorified tight ends and H-backs. Where's your speed? Where are your guys are doing what the Alabamas of the world, the LSUs of the world are doing, where if Schwartz catches, I guarantee you, if Schwartz catches 5 drag routes in a game, what do you think the chance of him breaking at least one of those to the house or 50 yards are? Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he was like 2 for 2 today.
We never get a chance to see that, and that is what is so infuriating. And this is why we consistently, more than any other fan base, will be watching nationally televised games, and announcers are making comments like, Auburn needs to learn how to throw a forward pass. Auburn has no ability to complete a forward. I mean, this isn't the first game we've heard this comment, and it's been from ESPN announcers, it's been from CBS, and everyone in the world can see it. So some of it's on Bo, but a lot of this is on Gus and the schemes and the personnel. It ain't like we don't have the players on the team. But again, when you keep marching out here in these big games and for 2.5 quarters, the fastest player in football is sitting on the sideline for 90% of the snaps, That is a coaching issue. That is a personnel issue. And it's a slap in the face to the Derek Browns and the Marlins of the world who are busting their ass to play championship-level football, who should be 8-0 right now. And instead, we're sitting here 6-2. For all intents and purposes, any shot at Atlanta is gone. I do believe we'll beat Georgia. I feel like we match up great with them, and we'll manage to get a win, eke out a win by 3 or something like that. But I think even a one-legged Tua will probably put up 24 points on us because they're going to do what we don't do. They're going to spread out a lot of speed. They're going to try and throw drag routes and slants, and they're going to get us out in space, and they're going to break a few. And if Gus doesn't start utilizing the talent he has in place the right way, we're going to continue to have these outputs of 13 points, 17 points in games that matter. I don't care if we score 50 on Ole Miss. I care if we break the 20-point barrier when we play the LSUs and the Georgias and the Bamas and the Floridas.
Auburn alumni, you were speaking truth and you got some great points. I hope you call in next week too, man. All right.
Appreciate it, bud.
See you, bro. That guy is speaking some truth right there. I like him. Need to make sure he gets on the show next week too. Yeah, I like that. And I think these are good. These are good points. Salient points, as the kids would say. I mean, not enough touches for Anthony Schwartz. I mean, it's like, remember, in the Florida game, he got 1 or 2. In the Arkansas game, he got plenty. I think he had 8. And in this game, it was short again. And I remember the 2, he had a tunnel screen that he was 1 broken tackle away from that was gone. It ended up being like a 5-yard gain. And then he had another, it was kind of a late drag route that it was successful. It wasn't wildly successful, but it was fine. He's a real problem when he gets the ball in his hands. They probably need to do more of that. I know Seth's awesome acrobatically. I know they felt like it didn't matter even if it was Stingley that he would be able to go up and get the ball, but Bo in the games doesn't put it in a position where he can win the ball very often. I mean, he did a couple times. All right, we're going to call Doc Dumpster because it's time. It is time for Doc Dumpster. So let me figure out. I got to get up on my screen here. Stop that. Yeah, type this in real quick. Because I can't. There's so many calls coming in. I got to call him directly. Or else I can't tell what his number is. And also, I missed S-Town Enthusiast. Sorry, bro. I hope I can get to you a little bit later in the night. But we're going to give Doc Dumpster a call here. Oh, I love it when y'all can hear it ringing. Yo, is this Doc Dumpster?
Hey, what's going on, Daisy, Deezy, Teasy? What's going on, my dog?
What up, Doc? How you doing?
Listen, I got to tell you, but I've been listening to the show, and now, first of all, I got completely screwed. I ended up after freaking Power Man, who's already broken down the perfect game.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping Power Man would call about 7 hours later. But how about a lot of good calls tonight? How about Scoot and Newton coming in play?
Yeah, he was awesome, right? And Auburn alumni right before you did an awesome job.
Dude, Auburn alumni was freaking cash money. I'm talking, I mean, just incredible. How's everything going tonight, brother?
Well, we're drinking the Old Forester Prohibition style tonight, 115 proof, so I got to be careful. But other than that, it's been great.
Whoa, hello. You know what? If you don't mind, I'm drinking a little what I like to call easy teasy. You walk into an ABC store, take a shovel, drive down about 2 floors, and get you some early times for about $7.89 a half gallon.
I've had early times. I've had Kentucky Gentlemen too at about the same price range, and it's delicious.
Hey, have you ever you ever had Kentucky Tavern?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Hey, I love old Kentucky Tavern. But anyway, I'm dog sitting tonight. I'm at my cousin's tonight. He's got 2 Pekingese, and I've got my Doberman and my Pit Bull, and we're all just sitting here on the couch watching football, having a good old time.
Hey, so what are your thoughts at this point about Bo Nix? Are you ready to give up on him?
I think Bo Nix. Now, let's talk current. Let's not talk future. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Bo Nix is absolutely. Excuse me. In terms of passing the football.
Yeah.
I think he's absolutely terrible. Okay. It's interesting. I was, Gus is Gus, and I picked us to win this game, and I felt like we should have won this game. I think LSU's very overrated. But Gus made a comment after the game that he pulled Caleb Kim because of a bad snap.
Mm-hmm.
That that slaughters me. Okay, just because I could show Gus 780 frames of film where Bo Nix sucks, and it just kills me to watch this offense. Powerman said it best. I mean, the defense tonight, that may be the best defensive performance I've seen from Auburn ever in terms of what they had to go against. I mean, they're on the field every single play.
Yeah.
And it is just embarrassing to see our I've been on this show probably 4 or 5 times, okay? I think I've said this every time. Can we complete a forward pass? I remember going to Texas A&M telling you, hey, if we can complete a forward pass. Well, we're 8 games in. Bo Nix cannot complete a forward pass. He would lose a game of horse to Minnie Pearls, okay? He's just terrible at accuracy, okay?
I know.
But Gus doesn't change it. And it slaughters me. And it'll be very interesting with this team, the chemistry, because the defense obviously knows that the offense sucks, okay? And it will senior league. Now, somebody said we were young. We're not young. We got tons of freaking juniors and seniors. But it will be interesting to see. The seniors are going to have to hold this team together because the game we gave away today was just. I mean, we if we have Vanderbilt's offense, we win that game. Okay. If we have Montevallo's offense, we win that game. In my opinion, it was just that terrible. When DJ Williams went out of bounds,
yeah,
I bet you money, JG Tate, there were 10,000 text groups that said he just cost us 4 points.
Yeah, field goal coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, LSU had their own problems in the red zone. They have a hard time running the ball too, but you're not an LSU guy, you're an Auburn guy, and they suck today running the ball in the red zone. They can't do anything in the red zone.
Well, listen, it goes way beyond the red zone. The red zone's inside the 20. What I would say is our offense sucks inside the 100. And listen, this isn't just tonight, okay? I mean, this is go back to Florida game. Go back to, everybody's like, well, Bo against Texas A&M. But Bo threw for 99 yards against Texas A&M, okay? So I'm just saying I cannot believe that Gus Malzahn would say, well, I pulled Anthony Kim when a bad snap. I'm not saying Anthony Kim's great, but I think a lot of bunker members are targeting the offensive line, and they say it's terrible. Which when I watch, dude, I've watched 8,000 films on us. Our offensive line, I don't think is terrible. I don't think they're good, but let's just say they're bad, okay? Let me put it this way. Very simple terms. If you took the names off the jerseys, took all the names off our jerseys, okay, and you paid a consultant from Hong Kong, from California, from Kansas, from North Dakota, from Georgia to watch our game films, okay, and tell me what's going on, every one of them would check the box that our quarterback sucks. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't care what your name is. Our quarterback cannot freaking complete a forward pass.
But do you feel like Joey would have been able to do that? Could Joey have done better?
No. But I'm with you. I think Joey deserves a shot.
I do too. Yeah.
I mean, if you throw for 40 yards and a half, I mean, I'm just saying that it's so funny to me. And I was in a text group tonight, and people say that Nick's got the job because Joey couldn't pass. Okay. That's freaking his whole. Nick can't pass. Okay, so and listen, I think Nick is tough as hell. I like him. I'm not saying he's not going to be good. Now I'm also not. Always like, well, Auburn's going to be better. That he's going to have to freaking complete a pass.
Yeah,
he's going to have to be accurate. Yeah. But I'm saying, why not try Joey Gatewood? This is 8 games in. Our offense has sucked all year. We just scored 20 points against a team that is going to that against good teams is going to give up 30 to 35.
Yeah.
So, and so my Gus thing, I'm not saying you fire Gus, but I'm saying I'm really questioning Gus in the situation, what he said about pulling Caleb Kim. Okay. That he's trying to get to the fan base. The fan base is saying, play another quarter. I don't care if it's Cord Sandberg. Just try somebody, for God's sake.
He's the de facto team dad, by the way.
You what?
Cord Sandberg's the de facto team dad, by the way.
No. Dude, I don't care if you play the team granddad. I don't care if you play Aunt May and Millie, your fucking sister. They're going to complete more passes than Bo Nix right now.
Yeah.
that's just my opinion. And I like Nix. I'm just saying, Gus is killing it. Gus is leaving him in the game. So about, let's just say 5 weeks ago, 15% of the fan base may have questioned Nix. Well, right now, you got 75, 85% of the fan base questioning him. Okay? Yeah. Let him sit. Get him out. Play somebody else to get, he just cannot complete a forward pass.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought I was glad to see DJ Williams play good. It was just a game. That was a game we should have won. Okay. You said it right in your pregame. You said they need 65 plays. They had 90 plays. That's just a game that we should have won. And I think Gus's stubbornness. We talk about stubbornness all the time because he's going to lead Bo Nix in the whole game. Stubbornness, I think, cost us a ball game because the defense played as good as I've ever seen an Auburn defense play, especially in those conditions.
It's championship defense. I believe it. Totally.
Yeah, and I hate we're going to be playing, and I will say this: watch the Ole Miss game because Ole Miss, I think, can score. Okay, if Gus continues what he's doing with these same plays, and it'll be very interesting. I know now you guys were right about the Arkansas game. I was wrong. Okay, I was actually wrong about this game. I picked us to win, but
me too.
I'm just saying we got to score points, and this offense can't score. It is that freaking bad. I mean. Like I said, give us Belmont's basketball team and put them in pads. Okay,
yeah.
We win this game. We win this freaking game.
Yeah, some of the folks on the chat knew you were going to be coming pretty strong on your opinions, and you certainly did that. Hey, I want to give you full credit, Doc. Though you lost your bet last week, and you spoke you typed in the Queen's English this year, I should say. And it was tough.
Hey, I had a ton of help. People, I do want to address the people in the bunker. Hey, dude, I had like 8 or 9 guys helping me. Obviously, you know me, Tate. You know that I'm. I don't want to tell you my SAT or ACT scores, but I mean, believe me, they're lower. Your daughter quadrupled me every score she's ever got. But I'm just saying, that's who I is. I'm just not very smart, and I thank the guys that helped me. Cook won the bet. I honored the bet, and let me say about Cookie. Cookie, the bet was supposed to be a week. Okay. Cookie was a good job. Did a good job. He said, I know it's going to kill you to not post Saturday. He said, hey, I'm gonna let you post Friday. So Cookie, big shout out to Cookie there.
Yeah, he did a hell of a job just giving you a chance to kind of jump back in because we all miss it when you're not yourself, so to speak.
Well, let me tell you something. I love the bunker. There's nothing. I will say this, and luckily because my aunt is rich, I'm members of about 57 sites, maybe 56. Yeah. Have you heard about my site where I'm the 81-year-old 3-time divorce lady?
No, I didn't know that.
Dude, I ended up getting drunk about a month ago, and I ended up turning into some 81-year-old lady named Brenda on this over 75 divorce site, okay? Well, yeah. I didn't think it was any big deal. Until I was getting these DMs where women were asking me for advice. And I just love it. Now I can't do it now. I got to wait till I get drunk, which is about 2 a.m. But anyway, I appreciate Auburn sports staff. You guys do a good job. Tate, thanks for all you do. We'll get better. We just need a quarterback.
Doc, I appreciate you being on part of the show, bro.
Thanks, brother.
See you, bro. We love Doc Dumpster, don't we? Guy always entertaining, and he can even masquerade as a 75-year-old woman if needed. If needed. You wouldn't just do that just for fun. I love when Doc Dumpster comes on. We definitely need to get Sir Brian Matthews on, so we're going to work on him now. Sir is on. He is down there in Baton Rouge. I am at the video headquarters up in Alabama today. And Brian and young Nate made the trip to Baton Rouge. And I'm going to call Brian right now. We have a lot of calls coming in, and we're going to get to them. Also, I want to give a shout-out to our folks in unusual area codes. Those of you who are part of the show every week know I love folks that have unusual area codes. 904 called in. Don't know where the hell that is. 352, have no idea where that is. And 478. I don't know where you guys are even at. But I know who I'm calling right now. I'm calling the doer of many things, Mr. Brian Matthews. Here we go. Let's get B-Matt on the horn. Oh, yeah. Wonder why it doesn't ring when I call him, but it does with Doc. Kind of weird.
Hey, what's up?
B Matt, whoa, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Where are you at?
I'm in the LSU press box looking out on an empty stadium. I'm drinking I'm having the best post-game tradition in all of the SEC right now.
Which is their
LSU free beer post-game. Yeah.
Hell yeah, of
Can't
course.
beat it. Cannot beat it.
It's great to have you on the show, Brian.
Yeah, hell yeah. How about that game? That was a terrific win for the Tigers, wasn't it?
For LSU, absolutely.
Oh, you're right.
What was Gus like after this game, man?
He was all right. You know, you could tell he was not happy with the loss, but you know, he's not going to say anything too over the top or too we suck or anything like that. He's just going to talk about how, you know, we're going to get better, we're going to fight back, the team is not going to quit, that kind of stuff.
And do you think this is the kind of loss that really stings him, or is it just like, hey, we fought really hard, we were close, we'll just go home and be better?
No, I think this loss really stings because, number one, you had a championship defense that played their ass off today and had a great scheme. I thought Kevin Steele did a terrific job. And once again, it was his offense. He's a play caller. He's a de facto offensive coordinator, and he let this team down again. Once again, Gus, the guy who was hired because he was a so-called offensive genius, has let this team down again, and it's not going to be able to achieve the goals it had because his offense can't get it done.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, he's the guy making all the money, and then the offense is kind of sucky, and I don't know how to reckon that, Brian.
Well, I mean, I think ultimately it goes back to recruiting. He hasn't recruited enough good players on offense, and you look at Kevin Steele and those guys on defense, and they have, and that makes a big difference when you got All-American first-round draft picks like Derek Brown and Marlon Davidson and other guys playing at a really high level, like KJ Britt and a lot of those secondary guys, and I'm sure I'll leave some guys out. You can go up against a team like LSU and win a lot of battles and be really good, and we don't have enough of those guys on offense. You can't, and Auburn doesn't. Auburn's got a few pretty good players on offense, but they don't have enough good ones. And then they go out there with a stinky, plan once again where they couldn't execute anything at all. They said all week, how they had made the adjustments they needed to for the noise that just really disrupted them at Florida, and it was the same old once again. 5 false start penalties, looked like they didn't know what they were doing at times on offense, couldn't get the plays changed on time. It's just it reminded me a lot offensively of the Florida game. Maybe not quite that inept, but really close.
Yeah, and I think my question is, B. Matt, I mean, do you think at some point it was appropriate to give Joey a chance to run at least one series or maybe 2? Yay or nay?
Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. And maybe he would have done worse. It possibly could have done worse. But I think for the sake of the team, of the fans, of everybody that's involved with Auburn, give that guy a chance. Your other quarterbacks out there missing throw after throw after throw, throwing behind receivers, throwing too high over and over again, completing, I think, 43% of his passes. Yeah, maybe Joey goes out there and his run threat changes things. Who knows? But the other thing I would say is, why wait until that final drive to go to 2 minutes? Why wait until then to start doing that? Why wait until then?
Yeah, the third quarter was a disaster.
LSU was giving you the pass all game. They were setting up to stop the run. They knew if you stopped Auburn run that Auburn couldn't beat you with Bo Nix and handle the noise and everything, and they were right. And Auburn couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I know, man. I mean, they were good against the run. They loaded up against the run. They were begging Bo Nix to do something, and he just couldn't do it.
No, he couldn't. And if you take away those 2 runs by DJ, those running numbers look terrible. Which really for most of the game it was.
Yeah, that's the thing. I hit a 70-yard run, like a 45-yard run, and
there. They're almost back. I think they were back-to-back runs by him into the first half and the beginning of the second half. Yeah,
they had 75 yards in the third quarter, B-Matt, and 70 were on that one run. I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah, they had 70 yards. 140 in the second half, and half of that came on one play, the first play from scrimmage on offense.
It's not good enough, man.
No, it's just not close to good enough, man.
Do you think they're going to be? Will they be better at home? I mean, they're going to be home from now until the end. You think it's going to make a difference? I mean, are they going to be better against Georgia and Alabama?
I thought all along this team is not going to just roll over and get beat by all 3 of these big games here at the end. So I do think they can bounce back. This team has good leadership. player-wise. So I think I don't think they're going to lay down and sort of lose it now that some of their goals like winning the SEC or going to the playoffs are now pretty much 99% gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this team is going to roll over. I do think actually though that Ole Miss could be tough because this loss stings a lot to them, and now they got to get ready here, in a week's time to host a fairly good, an improving Ole Miss team at home. So that to me is going to be a challenge. And then I think they get a week off for Georgia. I think they'll be ready for Georgia. I think they'll absolutely be ready to play against Georgia. And I think this team still has some important November wins under their belt. I think they're still going to be capable of winning some big games.
Was there much reaction in the locker room or talking to the players about that defense they ran? They ran a defensive paradigm basically they have not done before, and I'm just curious if they were talking a lot about that after the game.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a 3-1-7 or what you want to call it, but yeah, there was a lot of talk about it, and it was something that Gus said that Kevin Steele had been thinking about or mulling over for a few weeks, I guess, getting ready for this game.
Yeah,
and the players just talked about how I guess surprising it was to see something like that, and then how effective it was and how they had so much confidence in it. I thought it was a great plan by Kevin Steele. He what can you say about everything that happens on the defensive side of the ball? They come in with great plans. The guys play their asses off for 4 quarters. They recruit good players. They develop those players into good players. All that's happening the right way on defense. It's just not getting done on the other side of the ball, and that's Gus Malzahn's fault 100%.
Did he take responsibility for it? I mean, what was he saying after the game?
Oh yeah. He said it was on him. Yeah. Well, I guess technically, probably said the penalties were on him, but I think he was referring to the entire offense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, he talked about execution, all the other stuff he always talks about. But come on, it looked almost exactly like Florida in many ways offensively.
Yeah.
There weren't as many turnovers, and LSU didn't have the 2 defensive ends that Florida had. But other than that, it was very similar.
Yeah, and you're right. But aside from the 2 explosive runs that DJ had, they didn't run the ball very effectively at all. So, again,
because they couldn't get any push on the offensive line.
Yeah.
And you saw after that hard snap by Caleb there late that Nick Brahms came in there for that last drive, and they scored on it. So I think there's a possibility that he's going to be Auburn starting center the rest of the way.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
We'll see, but that's sort of what I'm feeling.
I thought Joey should have gotten a series or 2, and we've been talking about it all night. I think he should have. But
just to show whether he can do it or not, But I think the reality is, and he's not going to say it, but I think Gus and Kenny are convinced that Bo Nix is by far the best quarterback on the team,
yep.
And they're going to put him out there, do or die, to gain that experience and to play. Yeah, I think that's just how it's going to do. I don't think anything's going to change that. I don't think there's any way they're going to give Joey a chance unless Bo gets hurt. That's not in my opinion. I just think that's how it is.
And do you think that DJ Williams is now RB1 for sure?
I think he's absolutely RB1B because I think now that Booby's back, so to speak, I think he's probably still number 1, but I think it's just a matter of time. I think DJ Williams is the most talented running back on that roster. So it's just a matter of time before he takes over that job full time.
Yeah, he had some big plays tonight, man.
Yep. Even when he doesn't have something, he still gets a little bit. And there's not, Booby can do that too sometimes. But you can just see it with DJ. He can take it to another level.
Yep.
And he's just getting started too.
B-Matt, I know you have to get back to Gulfport tonight, right?
Yeah. I'm going to put up a story here real quick, and then me and Nathan will head back to Gulfport and then get back to Auburn sometime tomorrow around noonish.
You guys drive safely, please.
We will.
And you behave yourself over there in Mississippi.
All right, and you guys have a good time on your thing tonight.
Right.
I can't think of what it's named.
The brain drain.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, B-Matt. Appreciate you being on, bro. You're doing a hell of a job.
All right, see you.
See you, bro. Brian Matthews, ladies and gentlemen. He's a doer of many things. And a beast. Yeah. I like putting that picture of a B-Matt right there. He wasn't ready for that picture when I took it. Godbody says, Gus's time has come to an end. I don't know about that. They still owe him like $25 million. Seems like a lot. Let's take this call from 205. Oh, I do want to mention I missed a lot of good calls. 904-352 was calling back. I'm sorry I missed you guys. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Uh-oh.
Hey, Paul.
Paul, how you doing, Paul? A long-time listener, first-time caller. Time.
Who do I have here?
This is Auburn PCE. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, just polished off a bottle of Jameson, doing pretty good.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, what a win tonight.
for LSU? Yeah.
For LSU. Hey, I'm happy my prediction about DJ Williams is true, though. I predicted he'd be the starter by the end of the season. I did not think it would be because of an injury, but I do like the fact that DJ is now hopefully the guy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I was just asking B-Matt, and he was like, well, I think he's 1B, meaning that Booby's probably going to get a lot of shot. Going to get a big shot when he comes back.
Knowing Gus, I do believe Booby will still be the guy, but I think most of us know who the better running back is.
Yeah. I thought DJ, he had explosiveness that I just don't think Booby has.
That's right. He does. And I like how he runs forward and falls forward. He gets those extra yards that Booby kind of runs straight up.
He does.
But I like both of them.
Your thoughts on this season now? I mean, they're out of the playoff contention now. How pissed off are you at Gus?
Well, it's hard. I'm pretty pissed off, but I do think we'll finish strong. I like the matchup of Georgia, their running game against our defensive line. I do like, of course, with Tua. If Tua's 100% by the time he plays us, I think they'll
of course
eat us alive. But who knows? But I do think we'll finish well. I am pissed at Gus. He seems to be a 3-4 loss or 5 loss coach every year. So I don't think we'll fire him this year.
No, hell no.
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed off.
No, hell no. I mean, at this point, they would owe him $26 million. I mean, the team's pretty good. It's as a few callers have mentioned, and BMAT did as well. They're one competent quarterback away from being really, really good, but they don't have it.
Yeah, 100%. I actually thought the play calling at times tonight wasn't too terrible.
I agree.
At times, I was like, that's a good play call. Bo just couldn't make the play.
I agree.
So
I mean, there's a lot of people in the bunker that are shitting on Gus, and I get it, man. He's the man at the top, and that's who you go after. But I thought the play calling was at least okay tonight. And like you mentioned, at times, not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at times I wanted to throw my phone at the TV. But at times I was like, that was a great play call. Bo just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, and this happened in Florida too, and then it happened again at LSU, and you're like, here we go. It's a little bit of a thing,
Yeah, and I was on the Bo wagon. Now I'm seeing consistency, so I kind of want to see Joey get a series or 2 series. He just needs an opportunity, just an opportunity.
Yeah.
I think Gus owes that to the guy.
I've been stumping for him tonight, big time. I think Joey deserved at least a series or 2 tonight. When when Bo proved to himself in the third quarter that he was not getting it done. But whatever. I'll ask Gus about it tomorrow and see what he says.
Yeah, I would like to just ask if you could ask what would it take for him to get an opportunity, or will he get an opportunity? I would like to just say like a series. Use the word series because he needs an entire series.
Well, I asked him after the Florida game. I was like, did you consider playing Joey? And he was like, no, I didn't. And so I bet he's going to say that again because he's going to say, well, we got the touchdown late. We had a chance to win the game. I mean, he fought back. And I just don't know if I feel that, but he's going to say that.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
It's Gus.
Auburn PCE, you're a hell of a guy. I appreciate you posting on the bunker and being part of our family here at auburnsports.com.
All right, thanks, JG Tate.
See you, bro. Auburn PCE. First time calling in. Oh, here's my 352 call. I'm going to get him. He's been trying to get in here a bunch. Hey, man, what's going on? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Thanks for jumping in on the show. I've been trying to catch you tonight, but I just missed you a few times. Where are you? Who am I talking to?
This is Kyle Resner is the bunker handle I use.
Oh, okay.
And I'm from, my number's like a Florida number, like Dade City, I think.
Word. Okay, yeah.
But I'm currently in Columbus, Ohio, with all the Ohio State fans right now.
Oh, damn. My dad's up that way, so if you see him, punch him in the fucking face. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I like my dad. He's all right.
No, I'm too polite for that. I wouldn't do that.
Is your screen name a reference to Trent Reznor?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I figured. Thoughts on this game, man?
I'm a big men fan.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, do you go back to like 89, head like a hole, all that stuff?
Oh, yeah, of course, man. Head like a hole. Yeah, all those.
Yeah,
all
you
those
must be an
ones.
old dude. Yeah, are you old?
Actually, no, I'm like 34. I'm
Shit,
just,
no, you're not old.
I'm a big late 80s and 90s music fan.
That was
like Tool, Nine Inch Nails, all the grunge stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah. Man, Nine Inch Nails was crazy. Nobody else had a sound like that at the time. You were probably like a baby.
Oh, no.
But... Anyway.
Yeah, no, they're very unique and still are, the music he still makes.
No doubt. Thoughts on this game, man? How pissed are you?
Oh, I'm like 1 to 10. I'm like a 15, 20, somewhere there. Like, I mean, we had so many opportunities, and I was telling a friend, if we even had an average head coach or an offense, we would be 7-0 right now.
Oh, damn.
No doubt.
Oh, damn.
Like, I try not to bash Gus too much because you know what he is. If he doesn't have a dynamic quarterback, offensive line that can just do whatever they want, or running back like 17, any good defense is going to completely shut him down. I saw a graphic tonight in the third quarter, 3 straight 3-and-outs, where we gained like maybe 4 yards, and you can't do that. You can't ask your defense to basically be out there the whole game. And just the passing offense. I think it's Cody Burns. That's the passing game coordinator, has that title.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the same stuff we've been running since 2009. And he needs to evolve. Like, I mean, look at LSU. They bring that dude in and look at their offense.
Yeah.
They go from one of the most generic offenses the last 15 years to this dynamic offense that nobody can stop. I mean, our defense played great the whole game until they got worn out, basically.
Yeah.
And I was shocked, honestly. Our secondary played so as well as they did against their receivers. I mean, but Chase is an unbelievable receiver. So, it's frustrating knowing that we had the chance to win that game again in Baton Rouge if we could do anything offensively. And DJ Williams, I think he should be the starter, no doubt, the rest of the year. He has the vision and the cuts that no one else has.
Yeah.
Even Beebe, even when he gets healthy.
We've been pushing for him. I mean, me and Brian and Jeffrey and Nate have been pushing for DJ, and I mean, he got the most carries against Arkansas, and then I thought tonight they gave him a chance, and he broke a couple plays that could have changed this game if they just had a competent quarterback. That's it. That's all they need is just competent.
Yeah, and like, at what point do you, if you're Gus Malzahn, do you bench Nix for Gatewood?
Yeah, I don't. I just don't see it.
I don't either, and it should have happened tonight. The second half, coming out of the second half. Sorry. I think Gatewood should have been given a chance to at least see what he could do, because at that point Nix was 9 of like 20 again or more, something like that, for 60 yards maybe.
Oh, you mean overall?
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, so were you hollering at your girl right there? Is that what you're doing?
Do what? I'm sorry.
Are you hollering at your girl? Is your girl trying to get you off the phone or what?
No, she said I'm talking too loud. I just laid the kids down.
Oh, so. You don't want to wake the kids up. I get it, man.
Yeah.
I understand. I've been there before. I only had one, but it's been a while. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, Kyle, and I hope that you call in again. You're a good caller, and I appreciate you being part of the AuburnSports.com family.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
All right, be good, bro.
All right, you too.
Kyle Resner, ladies and gentlemen. Calling in from a South Florida number. That was why I didn't recognize him. And I'm glad that he called back because I missed him like 3 times. Let's take this call from which one we want to take here? A 205 call. Let's take this one. Hey, caller, how you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Just 1 minute here. What you up to?
Hey, what up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Jay. I'm going to start calling you Suit.
Why? Because of my natty attire?
Jay, something I tell you with your humor and listening to your podcast and your wild hair, I don't know, you've just blown your whole image with the suit, man.
Suit.
The suit. You're a suit.
Yeah, I'm still the tool that I always am.
All right. Jay, let me tell you, again, gray-haired guy here, best defense in my lifetime I've ever seen. Let's put that to the side. I think everybody agree. Actually, they may be better than what I thought they were. Tonight, that was as good a SEC top 1, 2, or 3 country defense you would ever see.
Yeah, they were really good.
Unbelievable, isn't it? It really is. I mean, and they played their guts out. Put that to the side. Now let's think about this here a little bit. What are we talking about tonight? One, average line, average college line. I wouldn't even say it's average SEC. So we know the recruiting hadn't happened. Now let's talk about the second thing. Freshman quarterback that we're depending on, and then he doesn't perform, and now we're talking about a redshirt freshman quarterback, and then we're talking about our savior as a running back is a freshman running back, and we're playing LSU in Baton Rouge. See, that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And so this is dysfunction, and then and I'm gonna look. Bo Nix is what, 19 years old, maybe?
Indeed. Yes.
19. And I believe that staff is good enough to know who's the best quarterback there. But you're talking about no running game to support a freshman quarterback. Now, Auburn's had quarterbacks. Stan White was one, was terrible as a freshman. Mediocre sophomore, became a really good quarterback. Jason Campbell, until he was a senior. I just don't think you can pull that guy out. It'll kill him. But really and truly, this is holes in recruiting. And then the other thing is I get the feeling that Gus Malzahn at times is panicking because he just doesn't make good decisions at times, and he loses, as people have mentioned, some of his biggest weapons he has. They disappear, and it doesn't happen with the teams we're going to beat, should be, but in these big games, there's just gaps of where he's not figuring out how to get our weapons going.
Anthony Schwartz needs more touches. I agree completely.
I mean, it's mind-boggling. But you don't have a running game, and Bo was definitely. Listen, we've confirmed what happened in Florida. He was panicking.
Yeah.
At times he had protection, and he'd step out early. Where you saw the senior quarterback for LSU stick in there when literally we had hands on him, and he stuck in there and threw a ball. He's a young guy, but we really needed a mature running attack to take some pressure off of him. But when you can't generate any running game, you're in trouble. And, you take those 2 long runs. We got down there in the red zone, and then it reared its ugly head again. So this is really, I think, panicking from Gus. This is my opinion. He gets brain freeze under the pressure. And then you've got a below-average SEC line,
offensive line. Yeah,
it is what it is. And let me say this: it's I think for all of us that follow it, could Auburn, again, would I give up the ghost that we couldn't beat Georgia and Alabama at home? No. When you got a defense like that with a couple lucky bounces. You could win. I think what the Auburn folks are frustrated about is that I think our coach, maybe could be the truth. I don't know if he's at his best under pressure.
Yeah, not lately.
So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Well, I've been calling you here about the last 5 minutes to get in. Looks like you got a lot of folks calling. Got a good show.
Yeah.
I got my Jefferson Ocean going here.
Ooh, damn.
And it's curling my tongue. I like it. And Jay Tate, look now, you can't wear the suit every damn time.
Okay, I'll dress down next time.
We'll do it, my man.
Just
Great talking to you and a great show. And I tell you what, you got the best humor of any writer. I love it, Jay.
I appreciate it, man.
I love it. Keep up all the good work. Talk to you.
Be good,
Thank
man.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Just one man jumping in. A lot of first-time callers. I mean, I know you guys are part of the community, but I love having first-time callers. We get such a great – it's amazing. Like, everybody has a clue what they're talking about. It's crazy. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, JG?
What up? Is this Dope Did That?
Man, this is Dope Did That, man.
What up, man? How you been?
Hey, man, I'm wonderful, man. I've just been moving around, working, doing what I have to do. But, yeah, long day for us Auburn fans.
I missed you, man. You called in like the first 3 weeks, and then I missed you for like a month.
Hey, look, man, I had to get another phone. It's just been crazy, man. Been on the road, man. Been crazy, man.
Yeah, I think Bo Nix needs to get another phone, bro.
Oh, man, Bo Nix needs another arm, man. Needs another arm, man. That's
you in
what
the.
he should be praying about.
I saw you in the chat. You're a little frustrated with Bo's inability to make those just easy passes.
Man, I think we all are. I mean, to be honest with you, man, I want to give Bo Nix a pass just because I don't want to say the same thing as the other callers that Gus isn't doing a great job. But, I mean, we've been saying this for how many years now?
God,
how
5?
Many years? Come on. How many years?
Since 2013.
We judge ourselves versus the best. We don't look for let's get these 2 losses out of the way and we had a great season. No. We want championships, man. We want rings. We want that crystal ball. Period.
And at this point, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good, man. And it sucks. It sucks, man. Joy Gaywood should have got in at the beginning of the second quarter, in my opinion. Our defense is saving Gus's job once again. Let's just be honest. Gus is over his head, man. He's over his head.
I don't necessarily think he's over his head. I just think, as one last second said earlier, they shouldn't be relying on a true freshman quarterback and then today a true freshman tailback. Like that's just messed up. Yeah.
I think Mac Brown is relying on a true freshman quarterback, and he's doing a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair.
Again, whether you're in middle school, high school, if you can throw, you can throw. Now, I will say this about both, and this is another reason why I give him a pass. When he gets in rhythm, he can throw the ball. When he's in rhythm, I mean, when he's at his 1, 2, 3 drop step, just go pass the ball, Bo. He can do it. But unfortunately, he doesn't get in rhythm a lot. Can you blame Bo or can you blame Gus? You got to blame somebody.
Yeah. And the offensive line, you can blame them too. I mean, those guys have been doing this so long. They should be better, I think, but
they should be. But again, salute to Kevin Steele. I appreciate the man. JG, if you put a sun visor on, I feel like you can do a better job than Gus. I'm rooting for you, man. JG for head coach of Auburn. Thank you for taking my call, brother.
All right, be good, man. I appreciate you being part of the site.
Yes, sir, for sure.
That's Dope Did That. He called in for the Oregon game, and then he became a member. We love members. We love everybody, though. Really. All right, so this is my first time drinking the Old Forester Prohibition style, and it hits pretty hard. It's 115 proof, and you know it when you're drinking it. I'll just put it that way. Hey, caller, how you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Yo. What's up, JG?
Word. Who I got on the horn?
This is P. Beasley.
Hey, what up, man?
What's up, dude? Looking sharp, man.
Hey,
I
thank
like that
you.
tie.
Thank you, man. I tried to do a little. I want it to be a little dark because they lost, but I don't want to have any red or anything.
Yeah, I heard that. Hey, so a couple things I want to talk about tonight. The one thing I want to talk about, everybody talked on Bo and everything tonight, but, when it comes down to Gus, I think what he's been what we've been seeing a pattern of is where's the preparation? I feel like, the offensive line with all the penalties, we practiced for the cell noise. We had 5 false start penalties. You thought that would get corrected after the Florida game. And the inconsistencies with the timing, the snaps, with Caleb Kim, low snap, high snap. We can blame Bo all we want, but, one of my biggest questions, and I want to get your thoughts on it, is does Gus really know how to prepare his team for big games? And I think we've seen this over and over. And what do you think about that?
Well, he was good in 17, right? Until the end, until Carry-On broke down. So, he's got some track record of being pretty good at that, but I think you're making a good point. This year, he's fallen flat. He did beat Oregon, so that's awesome. But this game and the Florida game, the Florida game was huge at the time, and now this one was huge, obviously not as much. So you got to wonder a little bit about that.
Yeah, you look at, he talks about it all during the week, and he says, we've been playing music, really loud during practice. We're going to adjust. And, we see it, and we have all these penalties. We have the low snaps. We have, just the timing looks off a little bit. And it's like, well, Gus, where's the preparation at? And that was frustrating to watch. The other thing I wanted to ask, and I hope you do the camera eye on it, I noticed at one point when LSU got their running game going kind of later in the second half, we were running 3 linemen. And Marlon and a lot of our defensive ends, they were playing a 3 technique, and we were crashing inside.
Yeah.
We were attacking inside, and there was no outside contain. And a lot of LSU's runs were just really dives up the middle. And the running back was able to bounce it outside. And I thought we took a little long to adjust. I'm not complaining about Kevin Steele. I thought the game plan was phenomenal tonight. But I think that was one of the key areas that we haven't mentioned. You mentioned earlier about that, but can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think he was married to that 3-3, like you want to call it a dime, and they were stacking guys there. I think he was married to that concept against LSU, and that inherently helps them in the A and B gaps, which is a big part of what LSU does in the running game, but it does not help much in the C gaps. And as LSU started running outside a little bit more, particularly using those bunch sets to kind of create some leverage in those runs, I thought Auburn was a little slow to adjust to that, but as you mentioned, at the end of the day, this is not a problem with Kevin Steele. There's a problem with the offense. And, you hold LSU to 23 points, and they generally were pretty good. So I can't kvetch too much over that.
I guess, after your defense is on the field for so many plays, at some point fatigue and your technique is going to slide a little bit, after playing all those snaps. I kind of felt bad for Marlon and Derek Brown. They played their ass off tonight. But,
they did.
After playing so many snaps back to back to back, your technique's going to drop off a little bit.
Yeah. So, too many snaps. Way too many snaps.
I thought – oh, yeah, totally agree. Hey, on the brighter side, I know, I love basketball, and I'm kind of getting ready for it.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Can I have a basketball question for you?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Hell
so one of the biggest concerns, I think, going into basketball season this year is our ball handler. You got Javon McCormick and you got Turbo Jones.
Yeah.
And one of the key areas that we succeeded in the past 2 years was with Jared is late in games during crunch time when it was, 4 and 5 point lead, and it comes down to single possessions. Jared was so good at protecting the ball
So
and
good.
hitting free throws down the stretch.
Yeah.
Do you see that being a big area of concern going into this basketball season? Because Javon, for the most part, we haven't seen him be a full-time point guard. And, we're going to ask him to score a little bit. But I think more importantly, what we need from Javon is to be a distributor, to protect the ball on key possessions, and then be able to hit free throws down the stretch. I'm kind of worried about when we get into these tough games, and I know this team's going to go through a little bit of struggles, especially early on, and definitely when we get to the heart of the SEC schedule, is who's going to be that guy that we can give the ball to, in under 2 minutes in the game that can hit free throws, protect the ball down the stretch. And, hey, great show, looking sharp tonight. Hey, keep drinking that old Forester, and love what you do, JG.
Appreciate it, P. Beasley. I'll answer this question on the other side. Talking about the basketball team, my basic opinion on this is that they're going to struggle a little bit in the early season. I don't know if that means they're going to lose games, but they're not going to be what they should be. And I think it's going to take some time for them to get it all put together because I think they have players, some of them younger. I mean, Isaac's got to get, 10 or 15 games under his belt before he really understands what he needs to do and how he fits in. But the question was about how they're going to replace Jared. They don't have another Jared. Turbo is as close as you get to it, but Jared was not great as a freshman, and he was just kind of so-so as a sophomore. So we got to give Ty a little bit of time to get ready. Javon really impressed me with the way he played in the last 15 games last year. I think he's going to be fine. I really do. I think Javon is not going to be the minus of this team, and I think Samir's going to be able to help a little bit more than he did last year. And then you got Okoro, who's different than Chum, but I think he's going to bring some things that Chum didn't bring, and I think he'll be good too. So it's just going to be a matter of kind of grinding through, November, December, get into January, and then just kind of see what happens at that point. The team's going to be fine. I think they're going to be an NCAA tournament team. They're not going to be probably quite as good as they were last year because Chuma got so good late in the year, but I don't know exactly. I don't know what to expect at a stretch because he's a lot better than I thought he would be. And I don't know what to expect out of Okoro because I just haven't seen him on the court yet. I've got a special guest here with me on the show who likes to make some cameo appearances. My administrative assistant is going to bring him to me. What up, bro? Oh, my goodness gracious. This is my – oh, my God. Oh, my God. What are you doing, bro? Calm down. This is my pug. This is Maverick. God dang, man. You want to say hello? Say hello to the peoples. Say what's up, peoples. How y'all doing? Dang, man. You want to talk? You want to talk to them? You want to talk? Do you have any questions? What do you think about Bo Nix? Do you want Joey Gatewood to play? Okay. He doesn't want to. Thank you, administrative assistant. You're the best. That was Maverick, my pug. He's my baby pug. What is he like? 4 months exactly. He's 4 months old. We bought him in August in Moss Point, Mississippi, from a young lady who she was friendly. She met us at a Cracker Barrel, as I recall, right? No, I'm good. Nolan says your pug is more well-rounded than Gus. I don't know about that, y'all. We got a call coming in from the 706. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's up, JG?
Who I got on the horn here?
Oh, man, this is just G.SS, man.
Hey, what up, man?
Yeah, I'm just chilling, just trying to take this one in,
I appreciate you calling back. I know you called in, a couple weeks ago, I think?
Yeah, I was pretty sick that day, and I manned up for the Florida game. I still have that same feeling today as I did then.
What, that the team's kind of not as good as it should be?
I mean, man, I would honestly, I wish the score would have been 60-0 compared to what just happened.
Wow.
But seriously, at least feel like you have no chance unless now you just wow. if we just had a competent head coach who was an offensive genius, we'd be fine, right? But we don't.
I think that a competent quarterback would be enough.
Well, that competent head coach should be on top of that. You would think.
Uh-oh.
And that competent head coach should be on top of his offensive line also.
Well, I mean, they're all they're like fifth-year seniors, all of them.
Yeah, and they all suck. Okay,
they don't suck.
I'm trying to be positive here. Okay, so yeah. Okay, see, you've totally deranged me now to be negative. Yeah, man, I just don't like. I don't, and the best part is we got damn Booby who probably can't even move laterally. But damn it, we're gonna throw his ass in on the Wildcat. Like we don't have anyone else on the quarterback. Oh yeah, we do have a 6'5" QB who can throw, but nah, he ain't good.
Yeah, I've been kind of espousing that all night, that I thought Joey should have gotten a few more opportunities than he did. But, whatever.
And especially, man, the first quarter when Joey was running on the field and Gus, like, pretty much horse-collared him off the field.
Yeah, I saw that.
I bet Joey was like, did this shit just happen on national TV? Did I just get horse-collared by Gus Malzahn running onto the field?
Stay on the sideline, buddy.
But really, my whole call was I just wanted to bring up one former player, and I think we all just need to take a moment and realize how much of a beast he was.
Who that?
His name was Nick Marshall.
Yeah.
Nick Marshall, turns out, is Tom Brady accuracy compared to Bo Nix, number one. Think about Nick Marshall, right? Like, think about, like, everything he did. He's the reason Gus is still here.
Yeah, I think
about that.
They would take Nick Marshall right now if they could, yeah. Those guys are hard to find, though.
That is true, but in everyone that I can remember the bunker bitching about his accuracy. Oh, God. But Nick Marshall can't hit passes, blah, 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 play Jeremy. And I just hope maybe this is just everyone we all deserve this after people shit on Nick Marshall in 2014. Maybe Auburn deserves this. Like, that's the curse. Like, you shit on one of your best QBs ever. You deserve a QB who now cannot complete a pass or run. So, I just wanted to call in because I'm a huge Nick Marshall fan. I feel like he's one of the more undervalued people in Auburn history, honestly. And Gus, I really think if Nick Marshall, if he does not come in 2013 and 2014, Gus only is at Auburn for 3 or 4 years.
Dude, I love Nick Marshall. I
know you do. But some of the losers on the bunker were just, they thought he couldn't pass, but then they didn't realize what Gus was. And he needs a dual threat quarterback. And I guess Gus decided then he needed to prove to everyone he didn't need a dual threat quarterback. And here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Well, that's really all I wanted to say. I was trying to be positive. I don't want to shit on Nick. I did went ahead and talked about Caleb Kim, which, of course, Caleb Kim, oh, God, he made a bad snap. The hard-ass Gus is going to take him out. Like, oh, yeah, I take out people when they make bad plays. But other players, no big deal. Booby fumbled, no big deal. Nix can't complete a pass, no big deal. But Caleb Kim, bad snap, gone.
Hey,
Sal Cannella, bad blindside block. Don't care. We're going to play you on all the offensive snaps, even though you're the worthless receiver. Okay, I'm getting negative again. And so I just want to say I appreciate you taking my call, and I love calling in here. I'm sure I'll call in next week.
Please do.
I just appreciate everything. All right, JG, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro. You be good.
See you, man.
Love GS, man. Calls in, has a plan. Love it. We had some awesome callers tonight, man. I don't even know if I could pick a winner. There's been so many good ones. We'll see if we can find another Hall of Famer. What's going on, caller? How you doing?
Hey, JG, how are you?
What up? Who I got on the horn?
This is Laces.
Hey, what up, Laces out? How you been?
Pretty good. Hey, just a couple of questions I'd like your opinion on.
Sure.
I posted this, but Burrow torched Auburn all day long, really with 5 to 7 yard passes over the middle,
He did.
slants,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, all game long. Is Gus not capable of doing that in our offense? Because our quarterback needed that today.
Yeah, I don't think he feels comfortable with some of those particular throws that Joe Burrow is good at. I mean, keep in mind, man, Joe Burrow is a seasoned, experienced, older quarterback who's been doing this a while, and he's just a lot further along in his development than Bo Nix was. I mean, Joe Burrow was like some kind of a screwball third-team dude at Ohio State at this point in his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One man's opinion.
It just seems like those are pretty easy passes. No, beats the pressure. Get rid of it and just move down the field. He probably 90% of his throws today.
Yeah, he was good. He was really, really good today. I want you to know, Laces, and now you sound sober. I will ask you this: have you been drinking?
I am, sort of.
Have you been drinking at all today?
Oh yeah.
Did you have a chance to drink any Old Forester?
No, I'm a beer guy.
Okay. I don't like beer as much. I like the brown water.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've been a beer guy since I went to school at Auburn a long, long time ago.
I do love beer, though. Well, Laces, I appreciate you being part of the site, dude. You're an awesome poster, and we appreciate you being here.
Hey, one more thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Any thoughts on why or that if DJ would not have kept drifting to the sidelines on that run,
yeah,
he goes in most likely.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. We've had some callers question that earlier, and my thought was that he had just kind of felt the pressure coming up from behind, but I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, if he had gotten in the end zone, that would have been a lot better.
Yeah, maybe he was running out of gas. I don't know.
He did seem kind of slow down a little bit, yeah.
Well, JG, great show. Please keep doing this. The whole bunker enjoys it.
All right, Laces out. You be good.
Thank you.
See you, bro. Love it, man. We get all kinds of posters on here. I'm so glad he called in. Laces out, y'all. One of the good guys. For show. I think this show really shows you that, like, your average bunker poster is pretty damn sharp. Like, even our dipshit callers, and I'm not even going to name who they are. I'll let y'all figure out who that is. They're not stupid. Like, they're put together. Like, they know what they're talking about. Like, you expect, like, on an open show like this on the YouTube that people are going to be, like, totally, like, tinfoil hat type people, and you don't hear that. You don't hear that. And I think that's good. That tells me that we got smart people here. Let's take this call from 256. Hey, caller, how you doing? What's up?
What's up, JG? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. Who do I have on here? Who do I have on the line?
This is Gus lied to me.
What up, man? I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, man, and Gus lied to me.
Yeah, well, he did lie, didn't he? He said they had a good week of practice.
Well, that I've been hearing that since he's been here. Oh, you've had a good week of practice. Yeah. Okay. Well,
no doubt.
What he really lied to me about was, saying that Joe was going to be a big part of the offense moving forward.
No.
Joey gets in the game, and I believe his only snap was a handoff to Sean Shivers.
Yeah, I wonder how many snaps he got, bro.
Do what?
I don't know how many snaps he got, but it wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough. And if you look at it, I'm not saying Bo should have been benched. I do think with the way the offense was looking, the way LSU defense was lining up, I don't think it would have hurt to get Joey in there just to give the defense a different look to see what he could have done. But I will say this, though. A lot of the blame should not be on Gus. I'm going to tell you why. I feel like his hands is tied when it comes to Bo. When you look at it, I feel like, and you can agree with me, that a lot of the passing concepts, you're looking at it and you're like, what is that? But I feel like when Bo's getting out there, he's just not hitting passes and he's leaving throws on the field, I feel like Gus just feels like he can't just open up the playbook. And he has to minimize and just call simple pass plays just to see if Bo can hit it. And when he's not, that's just when you see Gus getting flustered. And I just feel like the offensive line obviously didn't play their best game. And you look at it, we had so many false starts. You can't really put this on Gus because I felt like, again, we can't really see if Gus really called a good game plan because, again, I felt like he strays away from it because of Bo limiting him on what he can call.
Yeah, I feel like some of the calls were fine, and they had open throws that he just missed. He just overthrowing people all night, and I mean, it was better than Florida because he wasn't turning the ball over all the time, but at the same time, he's got to hit some of these throws, and we've had several callers say, Gus lied to me, that if they just had a competent quarterback, that's all. It doesn't have to be anybody awesome. It doesn't have to be Joe Burrow. It doesn't have to be Justin Fields. Just somebody competent, they would have won that game, and they didn't have that.
And I'll say this, and the reason why I just felt like Joey should have got more snaps, I heard another caller before say, about Nick Marshall. If you look at Nick Marshall, he wasn't really the most accurate passer. And I feel like when Gus is really at his best with a mobile quarterback, you just got to be able to put the ball in a hole. Because if you look at with all the misdirection and the play action, the holes are going to be there. And I just felt like Joey, yeah, he's not that great of a passer, but he's a good enough passer to get the ball into a hole out in space, just like Nick Marshall did. Because, again, Nick Marshall, he would hit a pass, and then he would throw a pass 30 yards over the dude's head.
Yeah.
But is there a reason why we just didn't see a lot of Eli Stove, a lot of Will Hastings? Because this is another game where you're just questioning personnel, and it's just like, where are these guys at? Because remember 2017, Will Hastings burnt Grant Delpit on a double move. I mean, so it's not. I don't understand, like, why isn't he in the game getting targets? Because, again, I mean, he's a vital weapon in the receiving corps.
Well, the Pro Football Focus numbers are in, at least the initial ones, and Will Hastings had 4 snaps. That's not enough. And then Eli had 33, which blows my mind. Like, he played half the offensive snaps. What did he have, like 1 target, 2 maybe?
I don't know. It's frustrating, but I don't know, man. The defense played lights out. KJ Britt played well, and I was really, and I was a downer. I was saying the secondary wouldn't hold up, but the secondary they played fairly well. The entire defense did, and it's just another showing. And again, yeah, Gus is going to get a lot of the blame, but again, you can't have 15 penalties. You can't make a lot of the mistakes that the offense did. But again, I don't think it was the play calling. Gus is going to be good for a couple of screw-up calls every game.
Of course.
We're kind of immune to that.
Yeah.
But again, I felt like you can't really put this on Gus when his hands are tied because, again, if he's calling plays and Bo's just not hitting the throws, I mean, of course, it's going to look like Gus is, not calling a good game. But, again, I don't blame him because, again, on that one play where you would run Anthony Schwartz under on like a little drag route, we literally ran 3 verts on the top of the field. Literally, he's the only option. And if he's covered, Bo's scrambling, just throwing it away.
Yeah.
And that's just simple pass concepts, and Gus doesn't have enough confidence for him to go through a 1-2-3 read, and that's just where our passing offense lacks.
I think it's 1-2, and that's it. I mean, that's all they're looking at right now. I don't know if Bo can handle more, but they're not asking him to right now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, but I even after this loss, I do think playing at home for Georgia and Bama, that's really a big advantage because obviously, a lot of my Bama friends were like, oh, Auburn can't play well from Jordan Hare, big games, and that seems true. But again, we're playing with Jordan Hare in November, and I think we got a good shot. So
absolutely, Gus lied to me. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, JJ. Looking sharp, by the way, man.
Thank you.
And definitely keep wearing the suit and the tie. I don't know what the other guy's talking about.
Thank you for your support on that.
Looking sharp.
All right, man. Be good.
See you, bud. All right.
Thanks to Gus lied to me for the support on the tie. I just feel like that's good. Hey, we got some preliminary PFF data in, Pro Football Focus data. I do want to say before I post this, and I got to set this up because it wasn't there when I started this show. They don't tell us a lot about how Pro Football Focus does their shit, but my guess, based on anecdotal evidence, is that there's several people who grade the game. I mean, I'm talking like 10 or more, and each grade is an amalgam of all the people that are putting their data in. So I've got numbers up here, but I don't know how many people have put their data in because, like, last week, I was preparing to do a show on Sunday morning, and then when I actually did the show on Sunday afternoon, the numbers had changed. So that far out, they're still kind of adding numbers and subtracting numbers. But the initial results are in, and I want to show you guys just a little snapshot of what they're showing on PFF here. Let me show. I got to set this again. It wasn't there when I started the show, so I want to add that. Let's see, media source. Will that work? Might work. Nope, that's not what I want to do. It's going to take me just a minute to add this. I really want to show you some PFF data, though. What do I want to do here? Yeah, we'll do that. Do a little PFF action. See what window. There we go. That's what I want to see right there. It's going to be unscaled, but I'll scale it for you guys, so you guys can see some of this data. And it confirms really what I was thinking earlier. I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to show you guys like rote our PFF data, but I don't really care. I mean, it'll be all right. You can see there. Here, hold on. It's a little too small. Jeremiah Denson, at least initially, is the highest rated player on the defense, which I thought he had a fine game. He was down in the box a lot and made a lot of tackles. They gave him credit for 8, including 5 stops. I mentioned before on the little thing I do on Sundays. You look over here in this category called stop under tackling. Those are plays that guarantee a failure for the offense. So if you're a defensive player, you like stops. It looks like Roger McCreary had 7. No, I can't tell. Hold on. Stop. Looks like KJ Britt had 6. Jeremiah Denson had 5. Derek Brown had 3. Anyway, let's look at the grades here. Jeremiah Denson at 80.6, which is good for a defensive back. Daniel Thomas, 74.2 is fine. 71.7 for Marlon, that's fine. Connis steps up with 11 snaps, plays 71.4. I don't actually include anybody that's under 15 snaps. I don't include in the content item that I post on Sundays. I just feel like it's too small of a just not enough data. Chandler Wooten with 17 snaps, that's fine. 71.3. Tyrone gets 49 snaps. That's a lot for him. 70.6 is good for somebody at his position. Nick Coe with a 69.9. I thought Nick Coe sucked tonight. 36 snaps. Roger McCreary with 81 snaps. Holy shit, I had no idea. I didn't know he played that much. Did y'all know that? Played pretty well. Had 10 tackles, I know that. Anyway, let's take a look at the offense. This is going to be an absolute disaster. Watch this. Oh, God. I haven't seen a game like this yet. Seth Williams is your top guy at 70.2. Good golly, Miss Molly. DJ Williams had a good night. 43 snaps, 69.4, and nobody else above 65. Nick Brahms gets a 64.9. You know, he grades out well, even though he doesn't get a ton of snaps. 18 snaps tonight. That surprises me. I thought it was less than that. Schwartz has a good night. J.J. Wilson has an okay night, and everybody else is, God bless. Look at this, y'all. This is a mess. Jack Driscoll at 53. Caleb Kim at 50. Bo Nix at 48. Good golly, Miss Molly. That tells you something right there, doesn't it? Wow. We're just kind of doing that live right there, showing you some of these PFF numbers. That's a mess. Yowzers. Well, we've been going for almost 2.5 hours now. I don't know. Maybe all we have left are the embers. As my Hobbiton people would know. I used to say that in Hobbiton. We used to do like these live chats back in the day. Back before we had video and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys are still with Hobbiton back in the day. Shit, I came over here in 2012 and I was still at the Montgomery Advertiser back in those days. Let's take this call. Hell, man. I mean, it's sad. It's late. Hey, what's going on, caller? How you doing?
Gator. Hey,
What
can we
up?
talk about how much of a piece of shit Gus Malzahn is?
Whoa, man. Why you got to be so mean? First of all, who am I talking to?
This is Alpha Tiger. I just had to call back in.
You're the first one ever. Hey, sorry I fucked up your name earlier.
Oh, I didn't notice until later, but
That's my
fine.
fault. I don't think I hear that well, honestly.
No, it's okay. But what was going on in that game? Like, he had a horrible game plan for Bo. Like, granted, Bo didn't take advantage of a shit ton of opportunities, but you can't tell me that game plan was in any way, shape, or form geared towards trying to help a true freshman quarterback be successful on the road.
No, but I mean, they're not going to be able to run the ball consistently against LSU. They're good, first of all, LSU's defense, and then you've got an average offensive line and a true freshman tailback. I mean, what were you expecting?
We were somewhat successful running the ball in the first quarter. Shivers had the outside run. We ran the ball somewhat successfully on the outside. We just kind of went away from it and tried to go inside.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like he did
it
ask.
It just seems like Gus just year after year after year after year after year, whatever, just runs himself. I apologize about the language, but
it's okay.
Runs himself straight into the ground, regardless of personnel. There's always some way he just shoots himself in the foot repeatedly.
He does tend to do this, and specifically in Baton Rouge, right?
I mean, specifically in Baton Rouge, but he does it elsewhere as well. Consistently in Baton Rouge, but he does so one or two times a year elsewhere as well. I mean, I've never seen somebody in my life so effing arrogant that they just can't get out of their own way and let somebody else call the plays, let somebody else just see the obvious, and he's got all the talent in the world. He recruits well enough. I mean, the offensive line was garbage tonight, but at the same time, our defense put our team in the position to win.
What have you been up to since you called? I think you were our first caller, weren't you?
I was drunk when I called before, but I'm a lot drunker now.
What have you been drinking? I hope you've been drinking Old Forester.
I've been drinking just straight Bud Light, but I've had about 25 of them. So
25? Oh wow, that's a lot, man. I understand your frustration, Alpha.
Anyways, I mean, honestly, I know, it's a dream, and I know we're not going to get rid of Gus this year, but who would be your pick if we were to get rid of his ass this year?
Oh, I can't do that, man. Come on, man. I can't do that.
You can't do that? I mean, what O-line coach would you go for if Gus gets rid of Grimes? Can you even do that?
I don't know, man. I mean, I can't sit there and tell you I know a bunch of offensive line coaches. You know what I mean? That's just too small. I mean, Kapilovic is a guy that I thought they should have hired before, who ended up being in North Carolina. I think he's a really good coach, but I mean, outside of that, I don't know a bunch of these dudes. I don't know. I just kind of go.
Do you
with
think if that Ole Miss head coach's name's slipping my mind right now? Do you think if he gets fired, do you think he would entertain an offer from Gus, or do you think that Gus just has such a shitty reputation that he struggles to attract elite position coaches?
Yeah, Matt Luke, I don't know if he would go from head coach to offensive line. I don't know if he'd go from head coach to offensive line coach. He's probably a coordinator or something. Although I don't know as though he was a coordinator before, was he?
He doesn't have any experience as a coordinator, so I mean, I really who's going to hire him as a coordinator? But I mean, Auburn's obviously got the money to pay him $500,000 to be an offensive line coach, maybe even more. I think he's worth more, but I think he'd be a good offensive line coach. But I mean,
no, I know he would. Yeah,
I mean, it seems like every fucking coach. Sorry, in language, but every coach that we have to hire a position coach. It seems like we struggle to hire a coach that's even remotely reputable. I mean, obviously we got McGriff right now, in our D-back. He was, somewhat reputable, but he had disastrous tenure at Ole Miss as defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't that, hard up, to get him. Obviously, he had disastrous tenure at Ole Miss. So, but we struggled to get, replace coaches that, we run off with actually, decent replacements.
Yeah.
I mean, is that because of Gus? I mean,
I don't know. He does love J.B. Grimes in a way that I don't totally understand, although J.B.'s a good dude, but let's see if he makes a change in the offseason.
JB is a decent dude. Nobody doubts that, and I know he's overcome a lot, but at the same time, this is a business, and you've got to run it as such. Why the heck would you I don't know. He's just like, why is a 5'8" guy who weighs maybe 190 pounds your offensive line coach? Like, you can't tell me that like he is the authority of like how to run an offensive line, like, and to teach you how to be dominant.
He's all right. I mean, he seems pretty good. I don't know. He's all right. Hey, Alpha Tiger. Hey, Alpha Tiger. I want you to know that I love you, and I'm glad that you're here at auburnsports.com, dude. I appreciate you calling in twice. You're a first-time, two-time caller.
I appreciate it.
All right, bro.
Have a good night.
Hey, Alpha Tiger gets credit for being the first one to call in twice in the same show. That's awesome. We've had some kind of naughty texts coming through. Mike Yarbrough, you're saying some bad things. It's being hidden. I don't have a choice on that, bro. You can't tell people on the show what you're telling them to do. I know you're not an Auburn fan, but you can't tell them to do that. Because first of all, I don't think they want to do that. And second of all, I'm not gonna let that go into the chat, bro. Ed says the blocking concepts are not good sometimes. That's fair. I don't really understand the whole we're gonna pull a guard and catch an end from the other side thing that they've been doing more often. Although they did not do it as much in this game. Mike, you're trying it again, and it's not going to happen again, dude. You can't do that. You can't say that stuff about those people. Let's take another call. I'm trying. Hey, caller, how you doing? Thanks for calling in.
You can't tell them to do that.
Doing good, JG. How you doing, man?
Who have I got on the horn?
This is BMAC34.
Hey, what up, man? How you doing?
Doing good tonight. Doing good.
Thanks for calling in, bro. I've seen you post a bunch of times, but I haven't had you on the show before.
Yes. No. I enjoyed Gus's malfeasance again tonight. I'm wondering, what are your thoughts about changes on the offensive line?
You speaking specifically about Brahms or what?
I would say that. Also, just the right side in general doesn't seem to get any push.
Well, I mean, okay, so you're talking about Jack Driscoll, and you would replace him, I guess, with Bailey, who was available today for the first time.
Yes, I guess. What about the young guys? What about Broham? What about these young guys that are on the roster?
Well, I feel like Broham. They like Broham inside, so he'd be a guard, and then Tayshawn again inside. I think they've been playing him at guard, so it would be like you'd bump out Harrell or Mike Horton. And to me, they've been fine, but Jack, to me, I don't know. To me, Caleb has been the big minus there, and it looks like Gus got pissed off over that snap and moved Nick in, and then as you saw in the PFF data, it looked like Nick was okay, and he's graded out pretty well this year, so maybe they're going to make a move at center. I don't know.
All right. Do we have any hope of Gatewood playing this year in a consistent manner?
No.
Do you think that would open up? Do you think that would make linebackers hesitate enough to open up lanes for our running backs? And then if Gatewood is a 50-50 passer, are we a better team on offense?
Yeah, I don't think Gus is going to do that. I think he thinks that Bo's going to be really good, and I respect the fact that he thinks Bo's really good. He sees him a lot more than I do. Joey is a 50-50 passer. I would personally, and I've been espousing this all night, I think he should have gotten a couple of drives tonight. And I think that he can do.
I've heard you saying that.
I don't think he's going to be worse than Bo. I don't think he'll be worse than Bo tonight. That's just my opinion. But, Gus sees him more in practice, and he wants to stick with Bo. And that's – look, he wants to keep his job. He wants to win this game. He wanted to beat LSU, and he felt like Bo was the better choice.
I know. I think it goes back to some deep-seated psychological issues, but I guess that's just me.
The Carl Jung in me would really love to sit down with Gus and talk to him a little bit, but I don't have enough. I don't have enough education.
Right. Well, thank you very much, JG. This show is the best thing going on the internet.
I appreciate you, B-Mac. You be good, bro.
You too. Bye-bye.
See you, bud. B-Mac, man, one of our good posters on the bunker. Absolutely. He'll sneak up on you. He doesn't post necessarily a ton, but when he sneaks in there, it's good. We got a bunch of people posting in the chat. I saw that Reynolds Wolf is in the house. My man. Mike says he's apologizing for the nasty things that he said. we have like a thing that works in the chat where if you say a bad word, it like blocks you immediately, and then it's up to me as to whether it goes through or not. Mike, I couldn't say that. I couldn't let it go through the things that you were saying about the people in the chat, but it's okay. Powerman says, "Do you want to hang up on me a third time? Did I hang up on you a second time? That is totally my fault, dude. I that was terrible. I'm sorry. I would not have done that if I had a choice. I'm gonna take this call right now. 205. Hey, caller, how you doing?
Jay.
What up?
Hey, it's Power Man. I was just making sure we're still good because you hung up on me twice today, okay?
I hung up on you twice? Did I really?
Yeah, twice. You merged me in on one, and then you hung up on me the other time.
Damn,
just making sure we're still good.
That's terrible. I want you to know that I love you. I love your brother less than I love you, but I love you.
Me too. Good. All right. Great show tonight. You guys did a great job. It was a lot of fun. I've listened to the whole thing. It was really, really good.
And your guy, Doc Dunstall, was on earlier, too.
I listened to the whole thing. It was awesome.
Were you sitting with him?
It was awesome. Do what?
Were you sitting with him at the time?
I was not.
I mean, I know you hang out with him a fair amount.
I've never met Doc in the wild. Fig Jam has. I've never met Doc in the wild.
Oh, it's Fig Jam. That's right. Fig Jam. Fig Jam knows him, kind of. Like.
Yes.
I do want to tell you, with you on the line right now, that I'm sorry that I hung up on you. That was totally my fault, and that was not an editorial commentary about what you were saying.
All good.
No.
All good. I didn't think that at all. So,
all right.
I was actually able to go back and listen to my call, and I didn't sound like an idiot. So I felt pretty good about it.
No, Doc was glad that you had you'd gotten cut off a long time before he got on the horn. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm going to be in town, so I'll see you at the lunch this week.
All right. I will be there. It's on Friday, right?
The 30th. I think it's 30th. I think it's Wednesday. Isn't that right? I don't know.
Whatever day it is, I'm hoping to be there, bro.
Yep.
All right,
man. Talk to you later.
See you, Power Man. Yeah, we definitely have a bunker lunch coming up in Birmingham. I just forgot what day it is. And if Bo is great doesn't text me, then I don't remember when the hell it is. Because, I mean, seriously, guys, I just kind of go where I'm told. My wife usually tells me that. Excuse me, but when it's bunker, I just kind of go where Bo is great tells me. It's really that simple. Mike apologizes for the nasty things he said. It's okay, man. It got blocked by the automatic thing. I'm most definitely an Auburn fan, he says. People want to hire the biggest name they see. Yeah, that's true. Which is probably Stoops. Mike Stoops. Bob Stoops. Bob is who I'm talking about. Well, guys, we're 2.5 hours into this bad boy. It's probably about time to hang it up. So, I don't know. This might be the end. I don't really want it to be the end. A couple things I wanted to mention I wrote down as we were moving along. Yeah. First of all, it looks like, and I wasn't sure how to address this earlier, but RB AU05, who is obviously a Hall of Fame poster with us, apparently passed away today. I saw this on the main board, and I wasn't sure how to handle it. I mean, I just wasn't, you never know what's going on with that, because I didn't know him personally. But then there was a kind of like a sponsorship drive to try to raise a little bit of money for his family, and that kind of made it feel real to me. And I really hope this is not true, that RB has died, has passed away, that something happened last night. But regardless, I want you to know I'm thinking about you. And he was an awesome poster. Period. Somebody also mentioned Nick Marshall. We had a couple people mention Nick Marshall. So me and Hoke, back in the day, Justin Hokinson, who was here years ago, we decided we were going to go out to Kansas to interview Nick Marshall, who at the time was at a Kansas junior college. He was at Garden City, CC, which is like right against the Colorado border. And I'm going to tell you guys, I don't really like going out in the middle of nowhere. It just kind of weirds me out. I wouldn't necessarily say I have agoraphobia, but I just don't feel comfortable. Like, I grew up in San Diego. I had people living on top of me, basically. Like, we lived in a tight neighborhood. I had 15 kids my age, like, in my little court. And you end up in, like, going out toward Garden City, and there's nothing out there, and I felt a little anxious. I'm going to be honest with you. But we went out there because Hoke was like, we really need to talk to this kid. And we did, and we went out there, and Nick was, when I watched him play, so we watched the tape, and I was like, this kid's going to be really awesome. And I took a lot of shit from Kyle Frazier's dad, who was like, why are you hyping this kid up when Kyle Frazier's going to be awesome? And I was like, hey, Robin, like, I'm not trying to be hateful. I'm just saying I don't think they have confidence in Kyle to be the quarterback. They do have confidence in this Nick Marshall kid from Kansas. I'm going to go out there and talk to him. And all we did was talk to him. So anyway, we did a story. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but when Hoke and I went out there to Garden City, Nick, we wanted to see him throw. We wanted to get some video of him throwing the football, like to show you guys like a video and stuff. So the coach out there, whose name was Mike, I don't remember who the hell else he is. I don't know where he is. I don't remember the rest of his name. He was like, hey, I'll get some kids out here and they'll throw to Nick, or Nick could throw to them or whatever. Do you know who the hell it was? It was Tyreek Hill, who is now like the star wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek was out there at Garden City, and he was like Nick's number one receiver. And so we're walking out there, and we're talking to Tyreek, and he's great. He's talking about how fast he is, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then we watch him catch some passes from Nick, and he's like, he really is like legitimately fast as hell, right? And Hoke is like, holy shit, this kid's really fast. And we're like, yeah, he really is. We probably need to tell somebody at Auburn about this kid. I don't want to name any names, but Hoke got on the horn with an Auburn coach, and he was like, this kid's really, really awesome. You guys do you know who this is? And this coach it wasn't Gus. And this coach was like, yeah, we know who he is, and he's really good, but we just think there's character issues there, and nah. And so they didn't offer him. And he went to Oklahoma State, and to be fair, he got in trouble for some shit that he shouldn't have been doing. I don't remember specifically what it was. I think it was domestic violence, but I don't know. But he got in trouble. He ended up having to leave. The kid is a hell of a player. And my thought was, if they can keep Duke okay, they could have kept Tyreek Hill okay, but I mean, whatever. That was 2013. No, 2000. It would have been May of 2013, so that was a long time ago. Who cares? Anyway, I love Nick Marshall. I am the biggest fan of Nick Marshall as there is. He's a really cool dude. I thought that he is underrated. A lot of folks have called in to mention that he's underrated. He's an awesome player. If they had a Nick Marshall now, they would play the hell out of him. But they don't. They've got Bo Nix and they got Joey, and for whatever reason, Gus doesn't think Joey is the number one guy right now. I don't care. AU Textman says, I think he punched a girl. I think you're right. I think it was definitely domestic violence of some kind. But as Copper Forever says, he's stupid fast. He is like the fastest dude. Like, it's unbelievable how fast he is. So anyway, I was just basically relaying a story that I just pulled out of my ass. Because me and Hoke went out there. We flew into Wichita and drove like 3 hours west to get to Garden City to start with. And Garden City is like a place where like they've got like 10 street lights and a Dollar General and Garden City Community College. And yeah, Lethal Injection says Nick Marshall's from Middle Georgia as well. Yeah, I know that, but he was a JUCO out there. And I don't really want to go back. Not that they weren't cool. They were fine. I just felt anxious. Because you drive like an hour between seeing another human being. It's crazy. And all there is out there is like silos. I really did feel anxious. Sterling called in earlier. Sterling says, go 3 hours, JG. I don't know. We're at 2.5 right now. And I feel like we're pretty much at the end. So I have a little tape recorder. Here it is. I don't know if you... Oh, shit. I can't... No, you guys can't see it. Well, there it is. That's the little tape recorder that I do to tape the podcast. I keep it separate like that so it won't crash and I won't lose anything. It's about out of space. We've got 2 minutes left on the tape recorder, and then it'll be out of space. I appreciate you calling in early, Sterling. I hope you guys are here for the Ole Miss game, bro. Kyle says Notre Dame is getting blasted. I'm glad to hear that, even though I'm a Catholic. I don't care. There's been a few calls come in, but I don't know, man. I'm about ready to roll. 2.5 hours. Been drinking this Old Forester Prohibition style. This stuff is really, really good. The thing is, it's 115 proof, so you kind of need to know what you need to know who you're fighting before you jump in with that bad boy. But it has treated me well tonight. There's no doubt about that. Let's see what else we got going on in the chat. Minion Mafia says, LOL, we can find a Nick Marshall anywhere in the country. Just go find a quarterback that can run about a 4.4 or 4.5 40-yard dash, and that's it. Johnny B. Good says, you're drunk. I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to drive after this. I have an administrative assistant who will handle that if we need to drive. I got a little bar in my neighborhood. It's a great bar. It's called the Tipping Point. I go there sometimes. Sterling says you need Griff as a co-host. I don't think I need Griff in here. Not hating on her. I like her. AU Taxman says the 1920 Old Forester is one of the best bourbons you can buy that's always on the shelf. Yeah. My local ABC store had this and the bottled and bond available today, and also various lower tier Old Foresters. I feel like this particular bourbon appeals more to my wife. My wife likes a smooth bourbon. That's really important to her. For me, it's more about taste. And as I told you guys in the beginning of the show, I grew up drinking some of the harsher bourbons, probably because I didn't have any money at the time. And so maybe my tongue is used to something a little bit harsher. This is a very refined bourbon. And you would not know it's 115 proof from drinking it. Because, like, for instance, I drink a fair amount of Old Granddad 114, and it's definitely way rougher than this. So if you guys are into smooth bourbons, this is definitely a good choice. Stanley says Gatewood is a better quarterback. Don't know if that's true, but I wanted to see it. I wanted him to have an opportunity to do that tonight. Mike says, off Taylor Road. I'm trying to think. No, the ABC that I go to is by the Rave. Although I have stopped by the one out there. Billy says, is Gus still trying to prove his offense works with a passing quarterback? You know, that's a fair question, honestly. I've kind of wondered that for a few years now. At this point, when I talk to him and I get the answers from him, I think he's just trying to win football games. But I think there was a time when he was trying to prove something. I don't know if that all leaks together or not, but I think he's just trying to win football games now. And as I mentioned, I think Bo does well in the game, in practice rather, and then he gets a little rattled in games, and Gus keeps thinking that he's going to be okay. Like, all right, we'll get through this drive. Like, remember the first drive today? It was like super low-risk throws, but also low-reward throws. And it was like they're just trying to get him out there and let him get his feet wet. But I feel like the right way to do that is to give him throws that he's going to actually complete. I don't know. William says, what does Dilly Dilly actually do? First of all, William, I know you've been here a while. Thank you for being part of the show this whole time, not calling in. And Dilly Dilly, I think, has been helpful based on anecdotal evidence. I don't know, because I don't think Gus, he doesn't get in those same ruts that he did before. Keith says, doesn't appear Gus wants to win anything. I assure you he wants to win games. Look, man, some of the decisions he makes, I have questions about them just like you guys, but he's trying to win, I promise. He really is trying. All right, we're going to wrap it up, guys. 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's enough, for real, y'all. I mean, hell, the game was over like forever ago. It's like nighttime now. JC says, who is Sean Dunn? Did I say that earlier? I'm sorry if I did. I don't even know who that is myself. All right, guys. I'm going to probably wrap it up. I probably could. Actually, Lethal Injection says, made a reference to Jay Lee. I probably should have called Jay Lee. I hadn't heard from him tonight, though. A lot of times he'll be like, yo, what up? Be like, hey, man. Just seeing if anything comes up here. Oh, my dad texted me earlier. What did he text me? Oh yeah, this is my dad's rundown of the game. Oh, no, just for you guys who have not been on the show before. He lives up in Columbus, Ohio, and I don't think he knows a lot about football, but he watches because he knows I write about Auburn. Pretty good game. Not enough effective offense by Auburn. The attempted inside kick, we'll go onside kick, was a very good one. With just a little luck, Auburn might have recovered it. No, I should rephrase that because there's a question mark at the end of that. With a little luck, Auburn might have recovered it. LSU is just a little better team overall. Can't win them all. See? That's a good attitude. You can't win them all, right, guys? I mean, sometimes you lose to Florida. And sometimes you lose to LSU. And then you've got Georgia coming up and Alabama coming up. And, well, you might have excuses for those two, right? Ah, man, it's Georgia. They played for the national championship. It's Alabama. They have a coach named Nick Saban, and he's really good. What can you do? Yeah, you can win the game. You've done it before. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. First of all, I want to say word to all the folks on the chat who have been here all night long. You guys have been awesome. Chip's been here the whole way. Ed Darby's been here forever. Reynolds, I think, is gone now, but I want to thank you for being part of the show. Scotty P's been here forever, and I do mean like 10 years or more when I say forever with Scotty P. I know you go way back, bro. I do know that. Mike Yarbrough, you had some bad things to say earlier, but some nasty things. But it's okay, man. I understand. Sean, this is a comment that I didn't let go through. It gets caught up by the cussing, but it says SMU is kicking ass. Maybe we should look into their OC. That's good stuff, man. Of course, that's Rhett Lashley. Used to be the offensive coordinator here. No doubt about it. And Bennett, if you're still here, bro, one of my Twitter followers, Bennett Bickerstaff. Appreciate you being here, bro. Appreciate you coming over. I haven't seen you here before in the chat, so I'm glad to see you. Auburn alumni in the chat a little bit too. Thank you. Great call earlier, man. Normally I write down all of the call-ins, but I just kind of lost track tonight. I don't know what happened. I know our first one was NAAU fan, and we're glad to have you guys. I know we had like 20 or 30 call-ins, so thank you guys for calling in. For those of you who are on the chat, appreciate you guys being part of the show, and we will check you guys out. I'm going to try to do a video tomorrow to get through these PFF rankings, but I don't know. Maybe they'll happen, maybe it won't. Just kind of depends on what happens tonight. And we'll have a chance to talk to Gus and maybe a player or two. It'll probably be Anders Carlson and Jack Driscoll. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm spitballing here. JC says, love the show, man. Hey, man, love you guys. Appreciate you being here for what we do. And, yeah. You guys are awesome. Love doing the show, man. What's crazy is that here we are at the end. We're about to wrap this bad boy up, and we still have more viewers today, right now, this minute, than we had in our biggest show prior to this. We were up to like 500 at one time today, and that's incredible. And I'm so grateful for that you guys would jump on and be part of the show. So we'll wrap it up there, guys. If you're out there, let's see. It's 9:57 in the Central Time Zone, 10:57, almost 11 in the Eastern Time Zone. If you guys are going out, behave yourselves. Let's make some good decisions out there. I don't know what's up for me next. My wife is in charge of that, obviously. I've been drinking a little bit. And, yeah, I promise I'll make good decisions if you guys do too. I'm bummed out because we had someone on the bunker. I think it was AU Tiger 083, I think. He said he was going to eat. He was going to eat a piece of poop from his Labradoodle if Auburn had won the game. And it got pretty close there. If they had gotten that onside kick, you never know. It would have been awesome to see that. Let's see. My man Reynolds is still here. I didn't know if you were, bro. Appreciate you being part of the show. Thank you for your nice things to say. And you know we love you. You do an awesome job. You made a great decision professionally. I can't say personally. I haven't met your wife. I'd like to. We're just not over there very often. But you're a badass. You know that. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. For real. Seriously. I need to go. You guys need to go too. If you're out there, make great decisions. We will see you guys again for the Ole Miss game, after the Ole Miss game next week. It's going to be late AF because that game's at 6. We'll probably be starting about this time next week, but just be ready. Get some good sleep so we can stay up late, and we'll check you guys on the flip side, all right? Peace. Love you guys. Be good out there.